Joes and agents of Cobra Command, there is a Synthoid in your collection. My name is Steve, this is GI Joburg, and as always, I'm not alone. Bringing with me to the stage, please give a warm welcome to Paul, Deadly Pencils.
Boom, boom, boom. Everybody say GI Joburg.
Joburg.
Hey, guys.
And
else
we
do we
got the
have
love
tonight,
and
Steve?
scoopful Robert Lee. Boom, boom.
Yeah, it's me. Hello,
Boom, boom,
guys.
boom.
Or
We
is
want
it?
Rob in our
It
room.
might not be me, actually. I could be a Synthoid. How are you going to prove that without the, the little device that switches me off?
Who's to say I don't have one here
Ooh.
somewhere? The neutralizer.
The range. It doesn't have the range. It doesn't have the range.
It has unlimited range. As the cartoon
How
establishes.
convenient.
it seems
How convenient.
to- if you got it on one setting,
You had it.
all
You put it back to
Synthoids.
the maximum setting.
We are back. It's been a hell of a 2 weeks. Lots to talk about. Over and above our obvious mandate of talking about an awesome two-parter by Christy Marks, The Synthoid Conspiracy. But I think we're going to kick things off with some convention talk from Mr. Paul. Dude, you just had RageCon, which, to my knowledge, is a lot later this year than usual.
Yeah.
It does feel like it. It's usually like
So-
2 weeks after Comic-Con Africa.
Well, actually, usually.
It's around your birthday in October.
Yes. So usually Comic-Con is the last weekend of October. I mean, Comic-Con. Rage is usually the last weekend of October. In one case, it's actually been on my birthday. Thrills. And it was like that traditionally for a very, very long time until Comic-Con Africa came to Africa. And they wanted to pose their convention as a direct kind of competitor to Rage. And so they kind of muddied up things a bit because now it pushed Rage. So Rage couldn't conceivably it wouldn't have been smart for Rage to have been in its normal time slot. And so they decided, okay, well, they're going to push it to December. And then COVID happened. And so for the last year and this year, it's been in December, the first weekend of December.
Fascinating.
That's
Competing
lovely.
with Christmas.
How was
Thrilling. Oh, I'm just letting people know, in case anybody cares.
Preamble.
How was it? It was great. It was a very cool convention. If I'm gonna be honest about it, it wasn't as cool as it was last year, to be honest. It was a little more. It was way more organized this year, and like our stand where we were was like 5 times better than it was last year, so that was cool. I think a lot of guys just didn't have budget to pull out a whole thing for Rage, so a few notable sort of exceptions there. Notable absences like Nintendo and like some of the bigger computer stores in South Africa weren't set up there. So a little bit, they Nintendo didn't. So that was a bit of a sad one, but otherwise it was a great convention. It was cool. I mean, I was there with the Gunpla SA stuff and then Nexus Hub. And
I saw pictures of you on stage, Paul. Were you actually speaking at a convention?
I was. Yes.
Cricket again.
No, actually. Not cricket this time. Gunpla SA and full on Gunpla SA. So we went up onto the stage and it was all about Gundam kits, model building, anime kits and stuff, that kind of thing. And yeah, that's what it was. And they actually gave us 3 slots. We had a slot for every day. And then for the cosplay competition, I had the opportunity to hand off the grand prize, which was pretty cool because it turned out that Gunpla SA was their biggest sponsor.
What did she dress as?
The winner was I struggle to remember the name of this character. In Elden Ring, a game, there's like a weird kind of ethereal blue kind of mushroomy character that visits you. So somebody cosplayed that character and they did LEDs and everything. It was pretty amazing. So they won.
Good personalities?
Painted blue?
Yeah, they were blue. This person was
Blue personalities.
It's blue person.
Wow.
But I gotta say the cosplay was on point. There was some really cool stuff. I've been playing this game called Jedi Survivor recently. It's the second a very, very cool game. there was a guy who actually cosplayed as Cal Kestis, who is the main character of that game, and he did an amazing job. He actually had the correct lightsabers for that, and he did like a little bit of a choreography, and then he let me mess with those lightsabers afterwards. Before I say he let me mess with his lightsaber, because that would have a completely different context. So that was and there was another young
People
lady
love to
who,
misquote us on the internet all the time.
do
It's
it all
super
the time.
famous. Paul said,
Um,
"Oh, I like it to hold his lightsaber." I'm
and
going to
then
take
there
this
was
interruption opportunity to just say yo, yo, yo to the 9 folks watching us live currently. We've got Joe
Hell
Hunter.
yeah.
We've got Chasing 80s Toys. We've got Mark van
Joe
Leeuwen. We've got
Hunter.
Hans Chow. We've got MC DJ ACDC. We've got Podcast from the Pit, Handsome Head Injury. And that about wraps it up for now. Thanks for sounding off in the comments, guys.
Oh, yeah, thanks for
them coming.
joining on this crazy Monday.
The number just hit 10. Yes, we are a day late. Because
Sorry
Paul
about
was
that. That is my fault.
burnt out.
Paul was
Yeah,
burnt
guys,
out.
I
He
do
had a breakdown.
apologize. So we started doing a breakdown of the convention quickly yesterday. Sorry, I
What is
know this is terribly
convention?
boring, so I'm going to speak through it as fast as possible.
And Troy and
so
Viper Scout. Yo, Joe.
Yeah. Hey, what's up, Troy? It's good
Cobra.
to see you. And Hans Chow, man. It's always good to see you, Hans. And I think
Now, when
I
you
saw
said you
Chasing
had
80s.
to break down, Paul, I honestly thought
Stephen was very confused.
Cecilia's
having a
car
mental
had
break.
broken down. No,
No.
that's where Rob's mind went as
Oh.
well when I said that I...
Yeah.
Because, I mean, obviously you're familiar with the term breaking down the gazebo or
Mhm.
whatever you had set up.
Yeah.
But
Mm.
when you texted me to say, yeah, guys, I can't make the podcast, I've had a breakdown, I was like, geez, are you on the side of the road somewhere, like, trying to thumb a lift because the car broke down?
I'll make it
So-
soon, guys.
Lol.
So fun thing about that, yeah. So thankfully none of that shit. Very happy to say.
Hello,
But
Zantara.
Hello.
Oh, hey Zantara, what's up? So yeah, we just had to do the stand breakdown. Yes, as Steve so eloquently put it.
Okay.
and-
so it wasn't that
yeah,
dramatic,
and-
but it was obviously
yeah,
very
but it
tiring.
was
I
just-
know that.
And it was raining like cats and dogs. I mean, it was wetter than a German porn set here. So like, we didn't want to drive too fast through the rain. So we got home pretty late, and we were all smashed. I mean, I was operating on very little energy afterwards. I was a zombie, and then I'm like, yeah. Anyway, so I'm sorry to everybody. My apologies to everybody that I couldn't do yesterday's show, but I feel so much better about it now because we're going to do an amazing show now, not to
yeah.
set an unobtainable standard or something. Yeah, but I'm very excited about this episode, and I'm very pleased that you two gentlemen were patient enough and cool enough to make us do this, because the topic that we have today on the stuff that we're covering today is something that I really wanted to be part of. So appreciate that. Thank you.
But
You're
on
welcome.
the topic of conventions, Paul,
Hmm.
I just
Hmm.
woke up from an amazing dream where it felt like the 3 of us were flying back from what feels like the equivalent of like the Olympic Games or something. We were in
Wow.
the airport terminal pushing our trolleys, and like there were crowds assembled, like cheering us on. Turns out
Wow.
we had just won our bid to host Joe Fest 2048 in Johannesburg. My mind is a
that's pretty
strange
cool.
place. It's
That's
pretty
awesome.
rad-
Okay.
like
2048, guys.
random,
Join us.
random.
Okay,
Um,
I thought maybe I won like I don't know, shot put or something. Throwing things. That's shot put, isn't it? When you throw something, I don't know.
Yeah, like a
Sports.
cannonball. So,
Damn.
yeah, fun times. So big news.
Maybe that's prophetic.
It
Carry on.
seems the HISS tanks have arrived. The classified HISS tanks. Have you guys been checking out reviews, having a little look-see at what we're missing out? Viper Scout says, anyone see my lazy bastard custom for the classified HISS? I made it in 3 3/4 inch king HISS. Oh,
That sounds cool. So it could
I
actually hold 3 3/4 inch figures.
I thought he was joking when I first read it. Sorry, the hour is early. I thought he was cracking a joke that he made a custom 3 3/4 inch
He
scale.
did. He customized it.
No, but the joke
Oh,
is like,
you thought he made a hiss for 3 3/4 inch figures because that's never been done before.
he just took a standard his tag and he's like, "Hey guys, look at my classified custom his for use with 3 3/4 inch figures."
Look how well the Cobras fit in it.
Another way of
But that's amazing, Viper Scott. I do want to see pictures of your King
Oh,
Hiss
yeah.
because I have fantasized about that very thing on this podcast. That like, just like the Robo Skull, Hasbro could have made an adapter kit, and you've
I
obviously
agree.
done it to make it compatible with smaller figures.
Like,
And
the lead
therefore
hiss,
make it
that's
that-
awesome,
yeah.
actually. You know, you
We
kind of
saw it
have
often enough in
smaller
cartoons.
hisses, giant hiss, like that'd be
Brilliant.
freaking amazing.
Brilliant.
yeah.
I understood it as he has the hiss and he's just loaded it with 3 3/4 inch figures. So,
Yeah, he
yeah.
lazy customed it.
Well,
Okay,
as I've said
yeah.
on this
Sorry.
very show, like if you're in the turret and you're a 6-inch guy and you're firing the main guns, those side mini guns, like, what do you have to like stop firing the main gun, turn to use them? Like you constantly like checking your peripheries. No, much
If you're
better
a
to be a
6-inch guy, gotta fire
much better
them
to be a-
double Diablos.
Yeah,
6-inch
4-inch
guy in the
guy.
turret firing his gun.
and have
Yeah.
2 friends with you in the turret. You know, be a
Whoa.
4-inch guy and invite 2 friends.
Have a couple
to
of
sit in
friends
that
in
turret
there.
with you.
Firing the guns with you.
Oh my word. Guys, Troy, why,
oh,
man?
cool. The Transformers Thunder
explain-
Machine.
Explain this
yeah.
to me. I've got mine, but haven't opened it yet. That's the part I'm not understanding.
No,
haven't
he's
opened it
saving
yet.
it
Are
for-
you
he's
saving it
saving
for
it-
Chris?
Christmas.
I
Must be.
I hope that's the case. You know,
No, he's saving them to sell them on. Smart
gee,
man.
dude, I would have. No, yeah, I don't know how you
I-
do it.
I fall into that trap as well, Paul. When a HasLab, sort of a rare
Yeah, there
item,
it is. Christmas gift.
falls onto your porch,
Ah, yes.
you kind of, well, then okay, it's a different case to what Troy's going through because it is a Christmas gift and he's waiting for the big day.
You,
But
as
like-
a content creator, there's other considerations. Is that what you're getting at?
I don't know. I guess I was just in 2 minds about the HasLab Sky Striker from the get-go. So I was like, do I really want this thing? Turns
Yeah,
out
you
I
do.
did. But it took me a week to kind of take the plunge and be like,
Reconcile
okay,
that. Yeah.
let me
yourself.
open this toy and enjoy it as it should
If
be.
if a HasLab anything had to drop on my porch, I would get some kind of EOD specialist to come check that out. Because why would that happen? You know?
Where's
that Well-
line here?
Almost on the same topic, it is with some great measure of sadness, that the Cobra mothership has crashed and burned.
Yeah.
My question, though, guys, can we write this project
screen
off
shot.
completely?
Who's that guy? Sorry.
Flint running
they-
through the flames of the.
Yeah.
The one guy that really wanted it, he's running towards it.
Wait,
No.
actually, that's Brian Flynn. He's emerging from the flames. He's got some way of spinning this. Super 7's Brian Flynn, if you're
course.
not sure. Yeah, my question to the both of you and to the chats is it the end of this project? Can they really just walk away from such a massive investment? Like, that model was impressive, immaculate. I mean, a lot of design and work has gone into this thing, and it hasn't found the minimum funding requirements by quite a wide margin, like 2,000 and 2,500 back is still needed.
That dude
I-
is
Mark's already-
prediction that the mothership was going to fund. And
Yeah.
The mothership will
I-
return, says Hans Chow. There's no way it's done. Too much work went into that amazing toy. Just wait. It will relaunch in a year with better planning.
Didn't Action Force
Enjoy the rest of your day, podcast. From the pit.
podcast from the pits? Yeah.
Thanks
Didn't
for joining us during a lunch break.
didn't like Action Force Bobby Vella and Action Force kind of rise from the flames Kickstarters, and the second kind of crowdfunding thing. So maybe, this is
It's
not
possible.
Hasbro.
The thing is, like, you put yes, it probably costs a lot of money to make it, but you kind of you have to kind of write that off. It was an acceptable amount of money to spend on it to be able to get the thing going, but to be able to actually mass produce it, they needed it to obviously hit that goal. It would be really cool if they could do it again. It might be it was too soon. If they had waited until after their announcement for the O-rings, I think that probably would have pushed a lot more people to want to get it. Even though, I mean, the news about the O-rings has been around for what, 3 weeks now?
2 weeks. It's
2 weeks.
still pretty
So maybe not
fresh.
pretty fresh. And also, we haven't seen what their O-ring figures will look like. I'm still pretty excited for it. I mean, any O-ring figures gets me very happy.
Yeah, I'm very excited about this.
Like a 6-incher in a turret. I'm
Guys,
very happy.
like, I did an about face turn because Classified they had launched a lot of Classified pre-orders on BBTS, and it's like the military diver and the infantryman, which are amazing.
Oh, those generic guys, yeah, they look.
Yeah, but then they did, and then they
army builders.
Yeah, they look, and they're amazing, and they sort of commemorative. They seem to pay homage to the old the old GI Joes, the original GI Joes.
Yeah, those 2002 ones. Yeah.
Well, I was actually I'm reaching further back to like Action Force, Action.
Oh no, that's too far.
Man days and whatever.
You're
Anyway,
too far. No one remembers the 12-inch figures.
Yeah, well, okay, but there's Scarlet, which is an amazing figure. There's the Duke, which looks incredible as well. The Techno Viper, Quick Kick is there. There's
yeah, there's some good figures
anyway,
coming up.
There's some amazing stuff, and I have only pre-ordered the Scarlet for myself because I think that Scarlet is pure gold. It's definitely something that's missing in my collection. I think the previous Scarlet, although a very good-looking figure, looks too much like a little girl in the team, and so yeah. But the rest can, because I'm going to start saving
not
my
even
money.
the seal. Do you know what the seals? They look awesome.
Yeah, they look amazing, but I want that money for the 3¾ inches that are coming. Well, the 4-inch figures coming from, well, the vintage, the retro style figures coming from Super 7. I want to start putting money aside for that. Because that is going to, that's going to blow me away. Like, now I'm going, so thank you, Super 7.
Thank you for bringing it back. Oh, God.
Yeah. Anyway, I just thought I'd do that as a tidbit. And I know it sounds very fence jumper, but my heart is with that scale. So, yeah.
A lot of people do have that same sentiment, Paul, and would gladly jump ship had the news emerged sooner. I think what plagued the mothership, high cost, bad time of year, and everyone is overcommitted to the deluge of like 6-inch toys coming down the pipe that
and
like
big ticket
suddenly
items
switch focus. Yeah, it's on the back of it. The Hiss Tank, the Dragonfly, lots of crowdfunding initiatives that are just pulling huge amounts of funds. Maybe, and also the payment plan, I believe, was nonsensical.
Shot JJ.
Having you tie up the money up front during the campaign was problematic because it made people want to wait till the last day. But if you waited to the last day, you're already discouraged by the fact that like it's got so much ground left to cover that you're like, this isn't going to make it. So maybe, pledges apathy also played a huge role. But I am disappointed because like I haven't tied up a lot of money with other lines, other scales, other big ticket items. This was the one that I was truly interested in, and this is the one that didn't get off the ground. So,
well, I mean, that's the thing.
I get my money back. I hope I get my money back.
No, I'm sure you will. But everyone has been very focused
before
on the
Christmas
figures. Well, probably not. People, obviously people have been focused on the official 6-inch line from Hasbro for the last couple of years. And the thing is, the vehicle is awesome, and it would definitely service your old O-ring figures. But I mean, it was launched as a vehicle for the reaction figures, which I mean, I don't know how popular they are, but they're pretty cool. But obviously, it's not something that a lot of people are buying. Is like their focus of their toy collection is not raw reaction figures. I think if they can relaunch it once they've started at least 1 or 2 waves of their O-ring figures, I think it should do big big money. Now, I'm going to be the Steve in the Flames. I think it's going to go big once the O-rings are
You're gonna be the Steve in the Flames. I think so too. I listen. Like we're gonna speculate. We're gonna say all these things, but from a marketing point of view, maybe this was the asset test. Just to see where the dough, where what the temperature, or reading the temperature of the room, where everybody's at. I think they're very much going to do it. I think they even accepted that it wasn't going to happen the first time round. I think they kind of had I think their plan B was, if this works, this is what we'll do. But plan A is, this is not going to work. This might not get off the ground now, but this is what we're going to do in the lead up to finally releasing this thing later. At least that's
And
I think I may have said
initially
as much.
it was. Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, you said something similar. I mean, initially it was just a cool thing that they put on display, to kind of have all their reaction figures around it at conventions. So, I mean, initially it didn't even seem like it was a product that they wanted to put out. And then once people had interest in it, they're like, oh, maybe we can actually make this into something people want to buy. I don't know. That's kind of what I imagine their reasoning was.
I think I'm going to challenge you on that. If they'd gone as far as to make the mock-up, the one that didn't open, I'm pretty sure it was only a slight delay until the sort of the internal one was ready. They definitely want to. The thing I've learned about Super 7 most recently is that, like, they're almost Brian Flynn they almost go out of their way to mislead or to spread disinformation or not quite speak out of turn is I guess what I'm trying to say. Like, they like to play their cards close to the chest and never take anything that is said in an interview as fact. Like, there's a sort of a double speak that's happening there.
They're playful, very playful, very witty.
Provocative, I think, is maybe a more apt term for it. Yeah,
they want people to talk about what they're saying. So, guys, have we developed a movie pitch? Gussie Goro asks. I think
what's the episode number?
305.
305.
No, not this one.
The movie pitch.
The one with the movie pitch. Yeah.
I'm just going to pull that on my thumb quick.
Yeah, you do it.
I'm going to say episode 21, recorded in 2012.
So we have pitched.
But Gussie Goro, you're absolutely right. Like, that is ancient history, and the audio quality is abysmal. So don't go trawling back.
Well, actually, I mean, I don't think the audio quality. Steven's very.
And I don't even know if that's the correct episode number. But yeah,
But the basic gist of it, we set in the 80s. We want GI Joe to be in the original era. I think we decided to keep it fairly realistic, not too sci-fi. I think that was the basic concept of it. Keep it true to what GI Joe is. Put it in the era that it came out in, and kind of go from there. Keep it intriguing. Not too ninja. I think we decided probably not too ninja. Obviously have Snake Eyes in there, but don't have him be the major focus of it. So basically like a realistic war movie but with GI Joes and Cobra. I think
go and listen to the episode. I think let's do that. Let's not do any spoilers for that then.
Oh, okay, but too late. He said it after I just spoiled the whole episode. But now he doesn't have to listen to the awful audio.
Quick question on this mothership as we see the mothership fade into the horizon, only to appear hopefully later. The one question I do wish to ask is, how many backers did it end up having, or how much? What was the final total financial value of the backing?
I don't know what that was, but it was about 1,800 people, and they had to hit 4,000, I think, to be able to get it made.
The number on the Super 7 site was 1541.
1,800.
1541 was the last recorded number that I saw, and I think I refreshed my page.
But I could have sworn it was on 1,600. Do people maybe drop out?
What's up, Jimmy?
Maybe.
Well, let's just say 1,500. Times, I think it was 400. It was basically $500. So that means people had essentially what do you call it? Donated,
pledged
approximately $750,000. I think
Okay, so
I
that's
feel like they had to hit like 1.5 million probably to get it done.
so. This is just in response
2
to,
million,
I believe,
actually, $2 million.
So MCDJ ACDC in the comments mentioned, I just hope that this won't curve Super 7's enthusiasm for the O-rings lineup with the low backer numbers. I guess I'll be getting my first payment back around midday today. So that's
interesting.
my response to that is if $740,000 was generated on a Kickstarter for this alone without any real promise of an O-ring line coming out, I'm pretty damn sure that those same people are going to buy the O-ring figures. And that's already a guaranteed 740,000. Okay, let's be fair. Let's call it 500,000 USD, dedicated to a whole line of O-ring figures from fans that are dedicated. So that's how much money is essentially available for any of Super 7's
even
endeavors.
if the mothership itself failed, that at least gives them have an idea of what people are interested, how many people are interested still in that scale.
Exactly. And remember, that is about, let's call it $500,000 or so that's not going for any Hasbro product, or that hasn't been tied up to any Hasbro product. So
Hasbro gets the licensing fee out of it.
Not yet, until Hasbro next year announces the next big vehicle.
But that means that's how much money is available over and above people buying classified figures.
And this is just to show how wonky the Super 7 page was, because MCDJ ACDC fires back with 1564 backers was the number that he saw.
That sounds more accurate, actually.
9.5 hours to go.
There sounds about right to me, because I checked this afternoon, and that sounds about right to me.
I had it open as a tab on my mobile the entire campaign, and I kept hitting the refresh button. So was I getting an inaccurate reading every single time? I don't know. There was some weird shit going down there.
Madness. Speaking of weird shit and gremlins in the system, this is called, this episode is There's a Synthoid in Your Collection, which means we're going to be touching on the Synthoid conspiracy. But we also have a super fun topic for this episode. Yeah.
What could be, Paul?
What is it?
So
you didn't tell me about this.
It's cool how this sort of fell into everything here. I actually forgot that that our next episode was a Synthoid conspiracy. When I came up with this topic, I just came up with this topic because I was in the mood for it.
Pretty cool.
I think we were getting excited, Steve, about Super 7's O-rings actually, and I thought, well, it would be great to see if they do O-rings for other important franchises and stuff. And we have kind of touched on this before, but here's the twist. Each of us has selected 5 GI Joe figures or GI Joe characters, and we're going to present them to each other around or Cobra, but I mean GI Joe the brand, people. Anyway, and we're gonna go around the table and sort of present these figures to each other, and it's up to the other 2 members of the Berg Force here of GI Joburg to sort of mention or to try and place these guys in another IP. So to give you an example, you've got Lady J. I present Lady J, and you guys make a really great argument for why Lady J would be really good in Golden Girls. You know what I mean? Whatever. So
Golden Girls.
So yeah, Celia's watching Golden Girls at the moment, and it's a great show. Anyway, so I think it's only fair that I kind of start the charge with this. And let me put out a fairly easy one. So I'm gonna put out Charbroil, 1988 Charbroil. And I'm just gonna open a picture. I'm gonna just share my screen. I'm gonna keep it nice and simple. So while we're doing that, Rob and Steve will perform a song and dance, possibly interpretive and very experimental, while I quickly reopen the file that just decided to hide itself.
Tell me about Charbroil.
These figures go? They go somewhere else. They're not in the GI Joe line anymore.
I love you so much, Rob. This is why I love you, bro.
They're going to new places. They're joining a universe far away, or under the ground in the sewers with some overgrown turtles.
Oh, you're the best.
Where will they go next? We do not know. Find out soon when Paul finishes downloading the picture because his internet's so slow and he's in Africa. Here we go.
Oh, a visual
We
aid.
love you,
It's
Rob.
Charbroil, just in case we didn't know what Charbroil looked like.
Oh shit!
But
Is
Yeah,
that
this is for
Charbroil?
the viewers. This is for the
Very
viewers.
good.
Yikes.
I didn't
Okay,
go to
so
the
Charbroil.
arcade.
So, guys, tell me,
I
and
skipped
also our viewers there in the live stream, let us know. Yeah, well, just for fun, you can play with us too, man. Let's do it. And
Yeah.
Rob, that was fantastic, Rob. Thank you.
Yeah.
That was
Stephen wanted to
congratulations
actually
all
talk about
around.
it. He wanted
that
to
was like
talk.
warm
I was
chocolate mousse all over my face.
I went with it.
So angelic.
Gotta go with it sometimes. So where else could this guy go? So Charbroil originally, thank you. Originally, obviously, he's a Charbroil unit in the GI Joes. He burns things. Where else could he go? He could probably go into Captain Planet. He could be one of the villains in Captain Planet. I think he'd make a fantastic villain. You know, kind of like burning down the forests, and the Captain Planet's like, "No, the forests are good." No, oh wait, I'm doing like a villain voice. Okay.
No, the forests are good.
Forests are good.
Power's in your hands. Come here, you
Ooh, the powers in
angry
the
Russian
flowers.
girl. Yeah.
The Captain Planet villain. Very good.
Yeah.
Okay. What would you call them, Rob? Just, I mean, off the cuff. It could be bad. I don't care.
Slash and burn.
Oh,
Deforesting the world.
Yes, deforester. There we go.
Oh, yes. Deforest Kelly.
John Deforester. Okay. I like
Burns.
that.
Burning bones.
These are great. I love this. Steve, anything is anything that this evokes with you? Like,
Oh, he's got a flashy outfit, man. Like those shoulder pads are very 1950s schlock sci-fi. So like, I don't know. I'd put him into like a Logan's Run kind of world, or is it
Ooh.
Damnation Alley? I don't know. Like just old school
Sanctuary.
sci-fi.
Predetermined code word. Carry on. I like Logan's Run.
Something
Logan's Run,
like
that's
that.
sweet. Charlie DeForest.
Okay.
But look, with a flamethrower, you're never going to be out of place in the Colonial Marines. You know, if you're going on a bug hunt, you got to have a flame trooper.
Oh god, he'd be great in Alien.
He would be
Yeah.
great in Alien.
Might survive that initial skirmish because he's got face protection. He's got a nice bit of body armor.
Sorry.
He's the new Ripley.
Wait, that's Predator's
Love it.
music. For me, I and you guys are, I mean, this is part of the rules. You can come up with like what you were thinking. I thought Charbroil would be cool in Star Wars. And I would call him like, yeah, Kree-Lon the bounty hunter. Yes, something like that. You know, like I just
No flame weapons in a Star Wars movie that I recognize.
But there are flame weapons in Star Wars. There's such thing as a flame trooper. Not gross. It makes total sense. Like I'm actually surprised they didn't have.
There's no
flamethrowers
flamethrowers in the 3 Star Wars movies that exist. I mean,
thank you.
Actually, let's be fair. There are 6 Star Wars 5.5 Star Wars movies that exist. Let's not really count the Clone Wars. And there's an amazing TV series in the form of the Clone Wars. Let's not be Star Wars gatekeepery shithead nerds, please. Next one, Rob, throw up your figure. Let's see what you.
Okay, well,
what we come up with.
I chose a very easy one. I thought, I was like, yeah, you know, let's go easy. Wait, where's this thing? There it is. I was like,
also,
I mean,
also, I just want to put this there. Just
what is that?
Thank you, guys. Love you guys.
Oh, that's very sweet. So, Doc.
Boba Fett had a flamethrower. Yeah, we didn't see it though.
Yeah,
oh my god, it was still there. Boba Fett has a dick too, but we didn't see it. Carry on.
No one in Star Wars has dicks. Yeah.
Yeah. There are no toilets in Star Wars.
Galaxy
not underwear in
far
space.
away. Yeah, that too. But there are titties.
So I decided to go with an easy one as my first one. Or at least I consider him quite easy. Doc. I mean, a medic. Where else could he possibly go? Paul, where do you think? Where could he go?
I love that MCDJ ACDC mentioned a character from MASH, but because I don't have much familiarity with MASH, I kind of do see Doc being in like just with his whole smooth vibe. Yeah, like, damn it, I can't shake Mash, and it's like it's hard for me to like.
That's
just put
literally
him
where
in
my
Mash.
brain went as well. Actually,
Yeah, like he's
weirdly enough, it's
cool
the
for
first
Mash.
place your brain goes.
I also think he would have been cool in something like Predator, like in the Predator movie, in the first Predator.
Ah, like a very calm doctor. And he's like, wow,
Yeah.
this man's head isn't attached to his body. Huh. Strange. He's not going to survive this.
So yeah, that could totally work. But not just that. He'll be like, can you imagine like Doc being in Predator, and he could be like, it bleeds. If it bleeds, and then Arnie's like, we can kill it.
That was my line.
Grey's Anatomy, go home, Hans.
Marcus Scott is great. When Scrubs, he would be a great like straight man to the comedy of the other characters. Yeah,
great. I'd love to see Doc on that show. Stop fudging each other. We have lives to save. Damn it. I've got to say, I do think Doc is one of the most handsomely sculpted GI Joe figures in the vintage.
Absolutely. Good looking man. And those glasses, hell yeah. He's always cool
hey,
and a fire.
Can you imagine? I'm no Superman. Scrubs was another suggestion by Viper.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
Yeah. Steve, what say you? We've stalled enough to help you formulate some plan in your brain.
I'm gonna go with aliens. He could either be flying the colonial dropship, or he could be, team medic.
Oh, he could be an android.
Burns.
He could be one of the androids.
Down the pipe, 5 by 5.
You know, he could be, he could be one of the androids, kind of like trying to recover the company man, trying to recover the aliens.
Oh yes, that's why he's a non-combatant.
Mm-hmm.
And so like, would you imagine like I'm just throwing this out there just for giggles now. Could you imagine Doc being a great figure? Like you've just seen the Aliens movie and you want to go and buy all the Aliens toys for this film that you were not old enough to actually watch. Would you see yourself buying a Doc? Would he have like a plastic, like would they replace his mortar launcher with some kind of alien destroying spring-loaded mortar launcher?
Or he'd come with like an egg and a face hugger. I think that'd be really cool.
Totally. Handsome head injury says, I had 3 3/4 inch MASH figures way back when. Yeah, I kind of feel like Doc is in a weird way removed from that toy line, or not toy line, but from MASH. Like
he comes from it.
And we also know Larry Hama himself is quite a big fan of MASH, and he also appeared in MASH as a character. He was the Korean POW. Yeah.
But I was like, let me throw out an easy one. Steven, do you have an easy one for us? Do you have a difficult one?
Could be
maybe Billy, Cobra Commander's son.
Ooh. Before or after he lost his arm?
That'll be a bit of a hint. But I was actually thinking, once he had his synthetic arm and leg.
Okay. Yeah, he could be.
It's just a leg. Sorry, he's a leg amputee.
Oh, I thought it was the arm. Shit, I don't know.
Mask.
Mask? But how?
Bob and Scott.
I would fit him into the mask. I'd fit him into the Mask universe as some kind of renegade character. So chaotic good guy, comes in, takes on Miles Mayhem with Mask, and then sort of disappears, not really aligned with anybody.
Interesting.
That would be cool. I'd play him like that. It's also got some. So every time he appears, they could also go Ninja Tune.
Or $6 Million Man. He's got a bionic leg.
Yeah, he does actually. I would put him in maybe a slightly futuristic like blood sport or something, where he's kind of trying to get revenge on this man who killed his family and left him mutilated and dead years ago. And he's like, come
Van
back.
Damme's the bad guy now.
I'm ready. Yeah, Van Damme's the bad guy, and he's ready for like revenge on Van Damme for killing his family.
You killed my daddy.
And my brother. No,
so die you.
Blood sport and cyborg.
I'm half Belgian.
Cyber sport.
Cyber sport.
Excellent. I was thinking Bionic 6. if
Ah,
he's
that
young
is a
enough.
good one. That is a
Because
good
all
one.
the kids from Bionic 6, I think, were adoptive. I don't know,
Mhm.
maybe Meg and I forget is his name Eric, baseball Bionic 6 guy. But yeah, at least 2 of them were adopted. So
I'm doing a dance
absolutely.
for Rick. I'm doing a dance for Rick Shattered Glass, just because his
Hey,
his
Rick,
thanks have
how's
arrived.
it going?
and what does Rick have to say? Hey
He
guys,
says,
hopped
"Oh,
in to let you know how much I enjoyed Air Commander this weekend. My FedEx driver just drove up. Our HISS tanks are in the driveway. My son is going bonkers right now. Amazing.
dude, I hope you
Enjoy
enjoy
that,
them.
buddy.
Absolutely.
Lacquer, my dude.
Post pictures
So
on
Bionic.
Instagram. I'll check them out later.
So who would he be in Bionic 6? Would he be like the wayward teen? Or
Ooh,
something?
he's like the edgy teen. Like he's like tried
drink
out
all the fizzy
drugs,
drinks,
and he's like
smoke
into all the like
cigarettes.
edgy stuff. He's into skateboard, but you know he's coming back now. He's coming back on the right side of life. He's like the Raphael of Bionic 6.
Dad's
Cobra
the bad
Youth.
guy.
Cobra Youth guy.
Yeah. Chasing Eddie's toys is Billy guesting in Scooby Doo helping out Mystery Inc. That'd be kind of cool. I'd love to see him
Zoinks.
in that. I'd love to see him in that cartoon style. You know, kind of like running
Oh
around
my!
with his bionic leg.
Like, check it out, Scoob. It's Billy. Really?
Back again, guys. I'm here to save you from these ridiculous adults pretending to be ghosts. I know
You can't
what
trust
the jig is
an
up.
adult, especially one that's into snake-themed paraphernalia.
Troy
Talk to me
sees
about
Billy
it,
trying
I
to catch
know.
Pokemon.
Yeah, gotta catch them all. Them
I
motherfuckers.
choose you,
They
Pokemon. I
threat-
choose
In a
Pikachu.
world. It could work out nicely. It'll be in a world where cute tiny anime creatures threaten the population of the human race. Only Pokemon trainers can stop them. Billy has no dad. Armed with an Uzi, Pokeball, and giant nuts, he sets forth to catch them all. This summer.
So on topic for Billy, this weekend past, I got to interview an awesome customizer and this other guy called Word Burglar. You might have heard of him. So Ozzy's the
maybe.
customizer who did all the 1984 custom figures for the music video for Word Burglar. And I mean, that just is the start of the rabbit hole that I went down of this man's custom creations. On screen right now, for the listeners and, well, for the viewers, is a custom Billy in his Cobra Youth outfit. You know, the sort of scout with the yellow kerchief and the Cobra button, holding a magnum, ready to blow his daddy's brains out.
And a bouquet.
I love
Which I
it.
gotta say, I absolutely love. And great
Wow.
use of Tim's head sculpt from Jurassic
Oh,
Park.
yes, from Jurassic Park.
Timmy.
Very good.
Mm.
Are we going to do 5 each? Because let's keep
Yeah,
trucking.
it's fun. It's
Well,
it's fun.
yeah,
People are
it's-
digging it.
We're gonna go quick through these. Ba, 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 ba.
Yeah,
Well,
cool. Let me share my.
who's
Okay, let me get my
next?
screen back on. Mindbender. Rub-da-da-da-da. Cool, guys. Where else do you see Mindbender being successful? Thank you, Rob.
But now that you've done that, all I can imagine him being in is in some sort of like gothic musical, like some sort of Andrew Lloyd Webber, where he's like the misunderstood mad scientist. Like he was a dentist and now he's come back to town to kind of like take revenge on the people. Oh wow, all my characters are taking revenge tonight. He had to leave town because he was run out of the dentist association, but now he's back and he's ready to take teeth.
Okay.
Your teeth are
frightening.
mine. I've waited long to take you out. So he's like the demon dentist of dentists. I don't know,
Of
like Fleet Street.
yeah.
Yeah,
I was
he's
also
Johnny,
trying to think of
Johnny
an American
Depp.
street name.
Johnny
Yeah.
Depp as Dr. Mindbender, the dentist of Demon Street.
Oh, cool. This is great from Chasing 80s. Dr. Mindbender could be the new
Ooh.
neighbor in Home Improvement.
That is very good.
Hey, Tim.
A monocle.
Tim. What's
Anthony,
happening
hello,
on your
welcome.
side of fence? Yes,
Ooh.
them children, not hazards.
Little
I'll
Shop
speak
of
to wife,
Horrors.
sure.
That's a good
Anyway.
one.
That was
What's that?
exactly where I was going to go. Steve Martin in Little Shop of Horrors. So it seems
Oh, the
Handsome Head Injury and
demented
I
dentist.
are lining up there.
Oh,
But I
yeah.
mean, they don't look anything alike. But like Mindbender just looks like a send up, so
Mhm.
that can work. I mean, Steve was out of control in that role. If you can't remember it, I mean, it's like he's on
and Bill Murray
nitrous
as
or
well.
something.
Oh,
Oh,
and
yeah.
Bill Murray is great in that too. I love that movie.
Hmm.
The 60s James Bond villain, says Mark Van Nieuwen. That's a good one as well.
Yeah.
No,
mean, I think
Mr.
it's
Bond,
coming
I don't
around.
expect you to talk. I expect you to open your mouth so I can extract your teeth.
Though, wasn't he an orthodontist? So he's going to give you like this massive headgear. Ah,
Oh, goodness.
Mr.
Yeah.
Bond.
Ooh.
Henceforth, you will be now known as Jaws.
Overbite. For me, I kind of saw him as a Ghostbusters villain from the cartoon series. I love the idea of him being some kind of cult leader that summons up something, and he's like little weapon in his hand, a kind of sort of some kind of PKE agitator that just upsets the spirits around him and makes them angry and dangerous. And I kind of love that idea of him, like. And yes, he can still be an angry dentist.
Of course you can.
Yeah.
You can be as angry as you want him to be.
Okay, what order are we going in here? I think Rob, you're next, eh?
Yeah, I'll be next. Okay,
Yes.
so my next pick, I don't know. I think it's probably quite easy to think about where this guy should go. My next one is Zanzibar. What else could he possibly be in, guys?
Oh, Pirates of Dark Water, my dude. Sorry, I wanted to just remove that. Apologies.
Oh my god, man.
The Pirates of Dark Water. Do you guys remember that cartoon series? It was really, really well animated. It was very dark.
I wasn't much into pirates as a kid, I guess.
I've heard of the show. I've seen some of the toys. There's some controversy around the toys. Wasn't some of it not produced or something, or got shuffled into another line, like
That's
Mortal
bad.
Kombat?
Yeah, sadly the show was also cancelled abruptly. It was quite dark, but
There we
also
go.
quite good. Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, just the reputation precedes it, but I never saw it. Why, Paul? Were you one of those Lani kids who had like, I don't know, Mnet? We've
Mnet.
established that you havened. So were you sneaking around to another friend's
No,
house?
dude,
that had
I
it?
got Mnet a little bit later on,
Okay.
from around like 94, 95, around there.
Mm.
Around the same time I got Windows.
Dark Water. I've never heard of this show. Ever.
Yeah.
Well, there was a
So-
thing. Yeah. So okay, cool, very cool. Where did you think he was going to fit, Robbie?
I just thought like Waterworld. I thought he would be a really good like denizen in the
That's it.
Waterworld, actually.
Nice.
That's where my brain went with him.
Well, Dennis Hopper had an eye patch.
Oh shit, he could
So
actually be a Dennis Hopper.
he
Yeah,
could be
like a
the-
younger
the
Dennis Hopper
king.
in the prequel. In the prequel, he's kind of like establishing himself as the king of Waterworld.
There we go. That's cool. That's conceptual thing. I like that. That's very cool. I love Viper Scout. You are a gift that keeps on giving. Annie McBeal, because why not?
They stole my fuel. The fuel belongs to me. I bought it fair and square. Wow, you gotta defend me in court. Everywhere I
Best
go,
lawyer ever.
everywhere I go, I see a damn dancing baby. I get to
You're
get
a
this eye
guilty
patch checked.
prick. I have a long ponytail and sits on top of my head. I had a top knot before them.
Before
Hipsters
you were
took it.
cool.
Now, this is a show that I have seen a
You
few
can see my
episodes of,
abs.
courtesy of Darren Cobb, actually. He could be a
Yes.
space pirate in Exo Squad's his handsome head injury.
Exo Squad.
Yeah, totally. Exo
I
Squad was
remember
cool.
that.
And I like the fact that he's got like a little bit of like wild 90s colorization. Like Zanzibar is a pretty far out design, and he's got some like deep purple on him. Not deep purple, light purple.
Oh, I think I remember Exo Squad.
So it fits that palette, that
He
sort
would
of
be perfect for
90s.
that.
Guys,
And of course,
where would
Mad
you-
Men.
where would you cast Sean Collins?
Oh, you mean
Bionic 6.
Is that where your brain was going this whole time?
Um,
No, Hans Zanzibar's never been cool.
Zanzibar. Hold on. Let's just sort this problem out. That was me. You can't be like that, Rob. Zanzibar's never been cool.
It's, that's where we're going with that.
Has Charles Zanzibar ever been cool? You stole my answer. Gaz reckons he looks like a character out of Escape from New York, but we're talking about Sean Collins, and all I can think of is like NCIS or a CW show. Like have him in Arrow. Like, who's that guy? It's Sean Collins.
Sean Collins, he's back.
It's like, hide all your girlfriends and your sister, Arrow. Sean Collins is in town. I don't know. That's kind of like I can't see him being in anything else. I must be honest, guys. I struggle to see him in GI Joe too, to be very honest with you. I mean, the guy's called Sean Collins.
It's Throwdown. Or Snake Eyes.
Oh,
if
that
you prefer.
Kamakura.
Karate. Hans Chow reckons. Yes. Okay. Thank you. American Ninja. There we go. Now you see, I'm also being inspired. Yeah. 3 ninjas kick back. Yeah, that's about right.
Ooh, he could
Sean
be like
Collins loves Emily. Sean Collins.
kindergarten ninja.
I will accept.
So he's like a teacher, but he's a ninja. So he has to like infiltrate a school to be able to like take down some sort of weird ninja like ring that have been like
I'd watch that cartoon.
Assassinations in the in the neighborhood and whatever else. And he's got to like become a teacher, and he's like, I'm Sean, I will teach you kids. No, stop that.
Or you could dial back his age a little bit further, because I mean he was a high school student when he wrote to Snake Eyes in issue 155. A letter to Snake Eyes. And he was like, talk to me, Uncle Snake Eyes. I'm thinking of joining the army. What do you think of that?
Whole thing. Oh, so
he's infiltrating. He's within the school. Yeah.
Wonder Years with Sean Collins. Okay.
So basically, and then like the gag could be some kid always walks up and goes like, boys have poles and girls have holes. And
Collins Creek. I don't want to wait
welcome
for our lives to be over. Gross.
It is gross.
Next.
What is your next one?
Oh my word, this is terrible. I hope we haven't offended anybody too badly.
No.
I feel like I'm doing this purely because I know it's going to be difficult.
Out of malice and spite.
Because Sean Collins wasn't easy. So nice one, Steve. I was hoping,
Sonic Fighters dial tone.
Yeah. Specifically, maybe not specifically this finger, but I kind of chose this because of, well, maybe let's see if you guys take the bait.
Black Beret, I'm thinking either Demolition Man or Starship Troopers. Because like the black and gray on Sonic Fighters dial tone, very Nazi SS. Actually, if we think about it too deeply. But he's got that navy blue mixed in there. I don't know. It looks like law enforcement. So I'm going to say John Spartan from Demolition Man. That's it.
Oh, yeah. I was going to say, yeah. Oh, really?
Carry on. Yeah, you took the
Oh,
bet.
Avatar. I was going to say Avatar. He could be one of the military dudes. Yeah.
So, like, if you had to imagine a Saturday morning cartoon for Avatar, then he would be like one of the villains.
I don't lie. He would be in the live action for sure. He'd be taking on those blue people. He'd be like, damn blue people swimming around and flying. Can't stand it. Connecting to each other with your tubes. That ain't natural.
Weird tentacles. Having weird tree sex.
Yeah. Ooh, Starship Troopers
Dendrophiliac.
Andrew, that's a good one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I've seen a few Starship Troopers mentions here.
Ooh, Battlestar Galactica as well. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
I like it.
So say we all.
So say we all.
Predator 2. Oh, there we go. That's cool. Hey, I like that. Thank you, Cops. Now, that's a cartoon series I actually never watched. I've only got familiarity with it because of things like Toy Fair magazine and, well, the internet. Thank you, Ed's Retro Geek Out and et al.
Ooh, Expendables. Gaz, you're winning. He'd be
The
fantastic.
card art. The card art. I mean, can you zoom in, Paul? Because like Dalton's face looks derpy as always, but the card art does look like it's modeled after Stallone a little bit.
Oh,
Dude, this
wow.
whole pose is modeled after Stallone. This
Oh,
this
wow.
pose
showing
is
his butt off.
this pose here is pretty much almost 1-for-1 to a
There
pose
was
that
a
he
bit of
has in the
Stallone
game.
butt in Demolition Man, right?
There was
when they,
Stallone butt.
when they put him on ice, he's nudie
Yes.
woody.
Oh my
Yeah,
god,
and-
Zentaro's suggestion is fantastic. Dalton in a quantum leap spin-off where he can leap into anyone he calls on the telephone.
I dig
love
that, Zantara. That
I
is
love it.
great.
Jumping through time and space to save the future and his own
Government
life.
hacker for hackers too.
Dalton.
Thank you, Gussie. It's always great to see another hackers fan. I love the movie. Cloak and Dagger movie from 1984. This Dalton should be in the next Expendables. So,
Yeah.
Kurt Russell Soldier is another one where that would work. I do want it to try and turn these into Saturday morning cartoons, but I am digging where you're coming from.
You sound like everything you wanted to put into a Saturday morning cartoon.
Cool. So
wild.
then the next one is Rob. Yeah, well, that's where my mind is. So that's where I'm going to try and
Actually, your
squeeze stuff
brain
in.
is
You can...
all cartoons. Okay, guys. Where's this man go? And the man in question.
Rob really
Is-
needs admin access to
I really
Streamyard.
do. Metalhead!
Where am I going today, guys?
Bang, bang.
Okay, Rob's leaning into the metal side of things. We've got to think
Cheers,
musicals.
Viper Scout. You've been absolutely fantastic and have a good rest of your work.
I haven't
Rest up.
seen it, but wasn't Tom Cruise playing a really, really extreme character in Rock of Ages?
No, and it was actually quite. He was quite good at it too.
wow.
Yeah.
Well, since when has Tom Cruise not been good at playing someone really far
He's
out?
pretty good at doing
He's
everything.
Out of control, man.
He knows.
He fails it. He
Tom Cruise
fails as
knows.
Jack
When he
Reacher.
sees an accident on the side of the road, he knows he can help. You know, if he passes and doesn't help, you know, he knows he can help.
Chasing 80s says Visionaries. I've got two suggestions I want to make, just for giggles. And guys, you were waiting for this. This had to happen. I can see him being in He-Man in Motu.
Rio Blaster.
Finally.
Yeah,
I've been
well,
waiting for you to make a Motu reference the whole night.
Well, I've been trying not to, but because it felt like low-hanging fruit, because a lot of GI Joe characters I think could do quite well in He-Man. And there is a bonus round, by the way. But Metalhead would be great, I think, in He-Man, and we could call him like Bangarang or something. I don't know. I think that would be great. Steve, what say you? Where would you place old
Where
Bullet
you gonna put
Brains
it?
over here?
I couldn't do better than I saw the the suggestion in the chats. It's Centurions by MCDJ ACDC. Oh yeah, Centurions
I
being
not
those
Pro-Stars.
modular
I
armor
wish I
guys.
chose more difficult ones. It feels like they all actually do fit into some sort of knockoff Mad Max film, as Gaz is suggesting Metalhead should go into. I should have chosen
and
more
also-
tough
I
ones.
think his tech is a little bit too advanced for Mad Max. It's high maintenance stuff. It's got a lot of hoses. It's got a lot of moving parts. Mad Max is all about like low tech. As
Yeah,
low
it's
tech
all,
as you can be.
Gaslands. But also,
Nice.
guys, if I can just say thank you for not coming up with the Mad Max thing here. Only because I feel like I don't want to say it's easy, but a lot of these
Okay.
characters come from the 80s. Mad Max was big and was popular in the 80s and obviously
Was
very
from the 80s.
influential. So, yeah.
Joe Hunter
I'm
says
just glad that
Saint
you guys
Arm
had
Dread,
done-
and it's Judge Dredd.
And it's Judge Dredd. Mr. I am the law.
Mm-hmm.
I can see that. I can see that.
I can definitely see that.
And also, like, I'll tell you guys now, I purposely haven't chosen any Eco Force, by the way. in the Eco Force characters because I felt that was like way too easy.
Easy. Alien. Yeah.
Yeah.
Basically. Alien.
Yes.
Brilliant.
Alien.
Steven, do you have another one?
Steven.
For us?
Give us another one.
Dawn Moreno.
Oh my
Oh.
word! You're like
Bionic
look at this
6.
guy.
Oh, yeah.
I should have made a rule. You can't put it in the same shit twice. I should have done that. I should have put that rule up there. I'll remember for next time.
Dawn Moreno.
Dawn Moreno.
Oh,
Suicide Squad. No, God, no. Please, no.
No. Dawn Moreno, when she enters the picture, just to put it in perspective, is 15 years old. So
so
maybe
it's
that's
some
got a
high school setting. Spy Kids. She'd be fantastic in Spy
in
Kids.
3D.
Yeah,
in
in
3D.
3D. So she has to go
Nice.
into the game world to kind of help save the brother and the sister. So they both get trapped there, and she has to go in and save them.
You guys know way too much about Spy Kids.
I've only seen one Spy Kids movie, and that was because it was in 3D, and that was actually the first 3D film I saw that wasn't that was stereoscopic 3D with the non-blue and red goggles.
Things come at you in the screen.
Jeez, so it wasn't Avatar for you. That's
No, it
interesting.
wasn't.
That's wild.
Yeah,
Avatar was my first.
yeah, it was for most people, but you know, and
But you
weird. I
had
mean,
to
what
do
were we
that
doing
kind
watching that movie? We
had
didn't
to
have
do
kids, but we watched it because it was 3D. It was interesting. I love this metalhead being a villain in the RoboCop cartoon. That's actually very cool. Nice thinking, MCDJ.
That would work, actually.
I love that. Thank you, my dude.
So, Paul, where
Um,
would you put her? Oh, I mean, I said Spy Kids.
Oh,
I feel like Dawn Moreno would work quite nicely in Ninja Turtles.
Oh, she could be the
Right.
fifth turtle, like a female turtle. That would be kind of cool. They've never done that before.
Go home, Haimsaban.
hilarious.
Heim's
But
the
no,
band.
wasn't there like a
the
female
Bond.
ninja in the Nickelodeon show? She was
There's
like,
a female ninja in Turtles called Karai. It's Shredder's daughter.
Karai, that's it. Yeah,
Yeah.
she's part of the foot. She's Shredder's
Yeah,
daughter.
Leonardo's love interest. Yes, Shredder's daughter. Actually, can I spoil it? Would you guys like to know whose daughter she actually is?
Whoa, it's
Splinters.
Splinters, yeah.
It's
the rat.
Splinter's master's daughter or Splinter's
Oh.
daughter, depending on how you want to see the continuity. But yes, it's
Wow.
actually Splinter's daughter who's been brainwashed by Shredder into
Brainwashed.
believing she is his daughter as a revenge thing.
Wow,
for killing,
that totally fits. That fits
yeah.
Dawn Moreno perfectly.
So Dawn
Incredible.
Moreno would be cool
Incredible. Paul,
as a counter to
you've done it
Karate.
again. You've done it
So-
again.
I think she's cool in Leon the Professional. So
Ooh, that could be
she,
pretty good, actually.
her early history was she was taken under the wing of the Baroness for training.
Mhm.
So I see that kind of relationship. Like Natalie
Ooh.
Portman and what's his name? Gerard Depardieu? Is that him?
Gerard,
Yeah.
no,
no,
Gerard
it's not.
Depardieu is the one with the nose.
Yeah, no, this isn't the nose guy. It's the other famous.
Leon is played by.
God,
Isn't that
God,
cool
God.
movie with Robert De Niro? In the cool movie with Robert De Niro, where it's
Ronan.
Yeah,
like
and he's also
Mission
only
Impossible.
Mission Impossible.
He's a cool actor. Well, yeah, he's a cool actor.
Frenchman.
I'm not going to put you out of your misery.
No misery can be happening tonight.
Damn it, Bug Force, come now, come to my
Yeah,
aid.
we're moving on. We're moving on.
Moving
'Cause
on,
we
moving
got
on.
we got cartoons to talk about,
We got
guys. We're
cartoons
into
to watch.
Exactly,
Okay.
First hour.
exactly. But we've quite
Paul.
we've been quite speedy in this show. I'm quite impressed.
I've been quite
Okay.
shitty. I'm yeah. Come on, let's do it.
Like here's like from the left. I feel.
Let's lady for shave.
Who's this guy? Who's this guy?
Gristle.
Where should he be? Where can he be?
Well, he should be in DEF, but he's not. He's in the Battle Corps because
Renault.
they decided
Thank
the
you.
war on drugs only had 1 year in it, as far as GI Joe is
Team
concerned.
Reno.
Yeah, yeah.
There you go. Paul's
Genre.
been saved. Gene Reno.
But not anymore. Rob, why do you do this? You're like Colin Robinson, man.
Ooh,
Rob.
Crystal.
Just look at him. Don't overthink it. Just be like, where does this guy look like he fits?
Once again, I'm going to go
Can
Power
fit.
Rangers.
Wow.
Power Rangers. Okay, that's
No,
cool.
no, no, sorry. I meant to say Captain Planets. I was thinking
Thank
about
you.
Power
Ah.
Rangers, but I was like, no, he needs to be like full body
Actually, yeah,
mask.
Captain Planet works.
But that
You can't
I
see the
reckon
bad
he worked
faces
really
in
well
the
for
Power
Captain Planet.
He would
He's
actually
like-
be the color scheme. He's very
I am
bright,
an
very
international
brash.
business selling cod pieces out of dolphin bone.
Very good.
I dig him. I think he would have been so great in the Captain Planet line. I think he just
Oh,
works.
Miami Vice villain. Interesting.
Yeah, okay.
All cops.
Or cops.
Says
Miami
Zantara
Vice villain.
and Andrew
Mm.
both said Miami Vice. He has to go in there. Hans Charles says Judge Dredd.
Why are you guys jostling me? You and your fancy car. This is
I think he'd be good
was
in
totally
Greece. He'd be good in Greece.
in
Kind
Greece.
of like one of the
Greases.
One of the Greases. He'd be fantastic in that role. But
He'd
he'd be
the
like
sort
one
of
of the
rival
bad.
guy. Yeah.
Yeah, he'd be with the
Hmm.
rival guy. You know. He's like
Johnny
be doing
Johnny
that.
Cage.
You think you're
Johnny
cool,
Cage is
but you're not. Oh, it's the 60s. I'm so cool. I've got the grease in my hair. My grease is better than yours. It's so much fairer. You're the worst, Johnny, 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 Johnny. Something like that.
GI Joburg, the musical,
Perfect.
starring
Hardcastle.
Rob.
What I mean, this was Hardcastle and Gristle. I guess in like
Ooh,
Gristle
that's
McCormick.
pretty
nice deep
As
cut
in
there.
Hardcastle and McCormick.
Oh my god,
Yeah.
yeah.
basically. Okay, I'm gonna throw one more out. I'm not gonna go to 5. I feel like
Okay,
four's
you feel like
I
you've
feel like
hit your
for me 4's enough. DJ, where do we see DJ? Where's he going? What show do you see him in? Don't think about it. Just look at him and tell me where he goes. Come on.
Dino Riders.
Wow.
Yeah, the colors. That's great.
He'd be perfect as a dino rider.
I think so, yeah. It would also take all the heat off him. Nobody would think he was a bad Dino Riders character. They would go, wow, he's pretty cool. No.
Mark is right, actually. That's where he should actually go.
In
By the way,
bin.
and Xantar, yep, there you go. In the bin. Xantar is in the trash. That is a very good genre for him, actually.
Oh, we've got a mention for Star Command.
Yeah. Sorry, I actually also clicked on it now. Sorry, dude.
WJ also thinks he definitely fits in Dino Riders.
Thanks, WJ.
Was there a disc jockey in Gem and the Holograms?
No, I must be honest, I can't remember.
He could be in the
but-
back scratching him up because, man, those moon boots that he wears, fabulous.
Ah,
With the
Chasing
little
Eddie says Stark.
Studs on the cuff.
Doop 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 doop. Yeah, I can rock some Herbie Hancock. Boop,
Captain
boop, boop.
Power says
Alright.
Gaz. That's a very good suggestion.
But Element.
Hell yeah.
Helix.
Ooh, Helix.
Bionic 6.
Ooh.
Oh, 4, 5, 6.
As one of the villains, I'm guessing. I mean, because one of the villains
one of
already has kind of like a hair thing going on.
It's
She's
crazy how
one of the
much Bionic 6 has come
She's
up
the
this
fun
past
aunt.
great
She's the fun
weekend.
aunt that joins him every now and then. She's the sister of the father.
Yeah, she's
So
a fun
she's
aunt that
every now
lets
and
the
then to
kids
help
drink
out.
and do shrooms. Yeah,
She's one of the
Yeah.
adopted kids.
What? How?
There are 4 of
Why?
them.
There are already 4 of them. Why do we need another one? I mean, Billy's already joined the family.
Wow.
Billy, Sean, and Dawn.
Guys, check this out.
Shatner's
Gaz
Tech
reckons
Wars.
Shatner's Tech Wars. Insane, dude.
That is, wow.
okay, cool.
That's actually pretty good. Hans Child coming with a serious suggestion. Girl with a dragon tattoo.
Well, she was busting child trafficking rings.
Ooh, Charlie's Angels. She
I'll
would
take
make a
that,
good
that's cool.
angel.
Yeah.
She'd
Well,
make a
do you guys want to have
fantastic-
a stab at it, or should we roll on?
I was going to say Bionic 6. I don't know.
Of course you would.
I
No
think
wrong.
I-
Says
Incorrect.
Andrew.
I feel like her outfit will allow her to fit really well into something like damn it, can't believe the name's just like escaped me right now.
Kim Possible.
It's actually something like that. Yeah. I mean, thank you for Kim Possible, and I'll take it. But
You're
that's
welcome, says Andrew.
that's more or less the vibe that I would have gone with as well. Yeah.
There
So
you go.
yeah, because you just
That's all of mine.
I was reminded of a Luc Besson movie. I was reminded of a Luc Besson movie when I was thinking this up.
Ooh,
Do you remember
that's-
Lucy with Scarlett Johansson?
Oh
Yes.
yeah.
yeah. Shame.
Like she accidentally ingests this miracle drug that like expands her brain, and then she
Yeah.
starts using even more of it till she eventually becomes like black goo
God,
and just kind of becomes
she
she
transcends
transforms into a supercomputer.
humanity.
Yeah, exactly. She sees the birth of humankind and then sort of goes into the future. I don't know.
So you
It's
see
not my
Helix
cup of
is
tea necessarily.
amazing.
Yeah, well,
Okay.
Helix starts out with this kind of computer brain, doesn't she? Hmm.
I don't know. I just
Something
always
like
thought she looked cool. That's
Little
why.
Wonder. You guys know that? That's the show where they have the little girl and she's actually an android, or she's a cyborg, and she like lives in the family, and hilarity ensues, and nobody's allowed to know she's a robot except for the family. So like Helix could be like her secret bodyguard in the show. It's not a cartoon; it's an actual live action thing. Anybody here like
Never heard of
remember
that.
that show? Little Wonder. It used to actually be on SABC, so it's not even it's not, for South Africans here, the three of us. It was an SABC thing. It wasn't even like an Mnet thing. It wasn't even, yeah. Anyway, well played, my guys. Well played. And the last little, just 5 minutes of your lives, I'm going to take away from you is
Already
feel
myself withering inside.
which Motu, which TMNT character, and which let's actually Captain Planet. I like that. Which of those three, which characters from these three properties, and you can only pick one, would be cool in GI Joe. It would be fun to have in GI Joe.
Wasn't there that kind of green glow in the dark? I just can picture the figure. He was a kind of a radioactive guy from Captain
Scareglow.
Planet.
Oh
No,
no, from Captain Planet. I don't know. Yeah.
I know there's Captain Planet and the Planeteers. That's about all I can remember from Captain Planet. And Gaia. I think Gaia would be very good in G.I. Joe. She'd be very good in one of the cartoons. Yeah.
Oh,
Like,
Helix would be great in the X-Men. Sorry.
Oh, there. That's a good one.
Irritating. Thank you. You mentioned
Actually,
Gaia.
Gaia would make a very interesting cartoon episode where kind of like Cobra stumbles upon like the spirit of Earth, and they're like, if we take control of the spirit of Earth, then we will destroy all of the environment. So you must pay us, and we won't destroy the environment. And then G.I. Joe has to save Gaia, and then she, to thank G.I. Joe, she gives them the rings. And then,
okay.
And when by your powers combined, I am GI Planet. And he comes out with a cool helmet on, and he's got like a water squirter that shoots like laser sunbeams. There you go.
We got Chasing 80s. Of all these characters, I think Dr. Mindbender would fit everywhere from Smurfs to Elf. I actually agree with you.
He is very versatile. He's a versatile character. He really is.
Jeez. Okay. WJ says hoggish, greedly, man-at-arms, human karai. Okay. Cool.
Oh,
nice.
Greedly, he was the main bad guy. Yeah. I think.
And Man-at-Arms would... I mean, Man-at-Arms does seem like pretty on the nose, but actually would make a very cool G.I. Joe character. Just and
guys,
him being
I've just looked up the name of the Captain Planet villain that I was thinking of. It was actually Duke Nukem.
Wow.
They came up with the same name as Duke Nukem. Oh my goodness.
Wow.
He looked like the Thing, kind of rocky, but he was glowing green dude.
That's wild.
Oh, I've got
That's
a
Crazy.
absolutely
picture of the action figure. Huh.
Gaz reckons
See if I
Rio
can bring it up.
Blast, MC DJ, ACDC, Skeletor, Dr. Claw in GI Joe.
Huntstar agrees with Man at Arms. He also suggests Shredder and Dr. Blight. G'day, Peter Moline. How's it going?
Cool. Good day, boys. Oh, there he is.
That guy.
It looks like sweet corn.
I remember him. Yeah, he does actually. He
Du
looks
hast
delicious.
die Macht.
He's how much now? 400 euros.
Oh, yeah, du hast die Macht. Yeah, the power.
Super. Very cool. I remember this character.
The
Welcome,
Robbie,
Pink
I remember
Panther.
seeing him at it was Pick and Pay it was actually ShopRite back then, but the one on Weinberg Main Road.
No ways. You saw it in Man More.
That too. Mm-hmm.
That's absolutely
Back
wild. I
in
don't
the
remember
day.
seeing him. That's insane.
I'm gonna suggest Rat King from Ninja Turtles. I think he would make an interesting GI Joe villain. Just gonna
They
put that
did
out.
that though. What was his name? Rat Attack. I don't know. What's the figure's name? There was a rat character. You've got the figure, Rob. He even came with a tail, which I think
Oh,
you
it's
probably
Ratman. I don't know. Desert Rat. Desert Rat. That has to be right.
But is it?
Swamp Rat? Was it called Swamp Rat?
It must be Desert Rat. Come on.
But is it
No.
Rat King? That's what's important because
Is
Rat
King-
King is
is
interesting.
Rat Kingy enough, I think. enough of a
Rat
Rat
King is pretty
King.
cool. He's psychotic and he's got a bit of a Crockmaster vibe, but he's also got his own thing
Oh, so
going.
he joins the villains of DEF.
Well, he's Cobra. I mean, he would fall in
Yeah,
the
yeah,
Cobra.
but he's
line
one of the
things.
villains of DEF because he's like what happens when you take too many drugs. You think you're the king of rats.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Exactly.
the
Well-
guy's name was Swamp Rat.
Swamp Rat.
It is actually Swamp Rat. You see,
Doesn't he have like goggles or something?
yeah, he does.
Mm,
loser.
mm.
Kind of rat-looking
Um,
face.
Nah,
Or
tell
was.
me.
Actually, because this is very much on topic, Pink Panther asks, how do you guys feel about the TMNT Motu crossover? I love it conceptually, but I think it's executed poorly, to be quite honest. I've seen a lot of people... Yeah, sorry, Rob. Yeah.
No, I was going to say I'm confused by the fact that they can take their shells off and put their weapons inside their shells.
Oh, that's a toyetic thing.
No, that's not true. That's ridiculous. The second I
That's
saw
not
it, I was like, "Oh, are you kidding me?" They
But no, but-
literally take their shells off and they put their weapons inside the shells. That's stupid.
Dude,
It's
the
not a
Turtles
backpack, it's
line has
part of their
been
body.
doing...
No,
The
no,
Turtles have been doing that for a long time in their lines. It's
and they've
always
been
the
doing it
battle
wrong.
shells
They've
and
been doing it
whatever.
wrong. They've been doing it wrong.
People, I mean, they keep doing
Wrong.
them, so they can't be doing too badly.
Wrong.
But I just don't like the
Turtles
design.
carry their weapons in their belts or on their shells. They can't just
In their
take their
bandoliers.
shells off. That's ridiculous.
No, I agree. I'm not advocating that, but from a toy point of view, it makes perfect sense.
Not
But,
even from a toy point of view.
but dude,
no.
when you've got characters that they've
No.
done like mutated versions of that look completely uninspired and, for lack of better words,
Oh no,
in
that
my
entire
opinion,
line looks
totally
really boring.
crap.
I'm
It
like,
looks
why
very
did
boring.
you even bother? And also, the first
it's
two
like you've
lines
got-
don't include all of the turtles. Like, why why bother?
That's sales crap. But basically,
like,
it's like,
Three
you know,
of
like
the
how
four in
Hershey
the
says
first
it's
two
two great
lines.
taste. Yeah, dude, I don't know. I think
Like,
Motu.
you're going to spread it out, have two in the in the first two lines, and then have the other two in the next two lines. That means they have
Yeah, well,
no
that's-
confidence in their own in the longevity of the series itself.
I just think like it's meant to be two great tastes that taste great together, and unfortunately, the secret ingredient here is boredom, boring
Yeah.
poo.
It's awful. It's
So,
terrible.
I don't know. It's just.
But
it just
so
all tastes like
we've been inserting GI
I've saved
GI Joe
money.
characters into other lines, creating our own synthoids within other IPs and properties. Why don't we
That's-
discuss synthoids within GI Joe itself and talk about Synthoid Conspiracy Part 1 and 2 from the classic
Dun, dun,
GI Joe
dun.
cartoon in the 80s, written by Christy Mack.
And it was so yeah. Anyway.
Marks?
And Mark,
Oh! Can
Yeah.
I put my hand up quickly? I just want to like mention this
Wrong.
quickly. Tim, Bruce Tim of the Batman the Animated Series fame and others.
Passed away.
He's part of this episode. He did a lot of he created a lot of models for this episode. A lot of character models and whatever's for this episode.
Wow.
So anyway, fun fact, he's credited in this episode. Carry on. Rob, break it down.
Is a synthoid, Rob?
What is a synthoid? It's basically like a big gloopy thing that Zartan invented that basically can take the appearance of anyone else and is in complete thrall or is completely loyal to Cobra Commander. So they're basically like agents that they can insert into any organization they want. And apparently also, I mean, completely double as that person if you're not Duke. For some reason, he's completely useless at being Duke, while all the other anyway.
Well, that would put it in line with Zartan's inability to actually act like his subject. I mean, he looks a treat, but like whenever someone questions him, and I refer to a cartoon that we all watched at the beginning of the year, Countdown for Zartan, like anyone kind of quizzes him or tries to make direct conversation with him, he's like,
well, he does that.
Like,
does it in this episode as well. Like the guys are actually already like, you seem out of character today, Sergeant whatever, and he's like, huh, no, I'm okay. Keep doing what you're doing, and I'll get my gun ready to,
My point is,
What?
whether it's
How's your
Zartan,
day going?
whether it's Zartan or a synthoid, they're just terrible actors.
I'm fine.
The plan worked really well with the 4 guys that they replaced, the higher ups. But like, anyway, we're getting here.
No, but that's cartoon logic.
Yeah, I
That's
know. So
logic.
the entire conspiracy, or the big thing of the episodes is Cobra's plan is to replace the higher ups within the military of the USA to be able to completely discredit and destroy GI Joe essentially from the inside
and defund them.
And defund.
To my mind, this is the first time we've seen that oft-used trope of like GI Joe with the funding cut. How can they have an effective combat against Cobra when they can't even fuel their Sky Strikers or put bullets in their guns? Huh? In their laser guns?
In that, but apparently this episode confirms that they're using laser bullets. Like, that's established. The bullets.
Blasters in Star Wars have ammo.
Yeah, they do actually.
Yeah, they do. They have bolts.
So that is a thing.
So it is a thing. So I mean, it's a thing. It's a thing.
Been out there over time.
So we open with war games, which is quite fun.
Yeah, they're kind of like, okay, GI Joe's going to prove how cool they are, and some of the generals like, I don't know if they're going to be that cool. But
yeah, they're just trying to unobtrusively move into somebody else's water.
Yeah,
waters.
But Cobra is there, and they use the subterfuge of the war games to insert their agents.
Yeah, and we get the introduction of the flag. Is the first time we're seeing it in the cartoon?
No, we saw it in. We saw the flag in. I think it has its debut in the Pyramids of Darkness.
Okay.
Might
we haven't seen it
than that.
since then. I feel because it feels like it sounds like they're like, oh, it's the flag. Oh, I can't wait to see the flag. The general's very excited.
We've seen the Blackout episode, right? The one where Cobra can switch off people's power.
Yeah, it's Pyramids of Darkness.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, so the flag is in that. Yeah, that's when the flag comes out. Yeah.
Scarlet gives Shipwreck a nice warm slap. He's like coming onto her, and even I think he get handsy at one point.
He does.
Yeah, sexual harassment in the workplace will not be tolerated here, dude. Like,
I know a place where the lasagna is hot and the lights are dim. So that's an interesting little. I mean, like fraternizing within the armed forces is one thing, but like actually getting handsy with your fellow soldier.
Yeah.
Damn, Shipwreck. Nothing's off limits to you, pal. Maybe Flint's like right around the corner. I mean, like, check out the cojones on this guy. No, not Flint. Duke. Duke is around the corner.
He is.
the big
Actually, no, he
tease
isn't.
is
He isn't on the ship at this point.
he's
He's
in a
flying
dragonfly.
around. Yeah.
But anyways, it's like what, you're gonna go for Duke's girl. I guess there just aren't that many females in GI Joe. You get what
Yeah.
you can take. What you
Guys,
can
to be
steal.
fair, Shipwreck's just a dog. He goes for all the girls in this
Does
show.
what he can. He takes his shots wherever he sees them.
He's persistent. Yeah. He's just always taking shots.
I mean,
But the thing is, he
Satine,
takes his
all of
shot,
them.
he gets shot down, and he kind of does come back with like, "Hey, go get him!" He's not upset about being shot down. Like he took his shot. He's like, "Hey, I'm gonna give it a try." She's like, "Get off me!" And then she's about to leave to like start the mission. He's like, "Yeah, go get him!" So it's just not like overall a negative experience, interaction. He's just too forward. But she knows how to kind of like handle him.
On this topic, however, like I found maybe this is Christie's intention to show the relationship as vividly as possible. But anytime Scarlet and the real Duke are together in a scene, she is just draped all over him.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, did you guys notice how like extremely affectionate Scarlet is depicted in this two-parter specifically?
Oh no, absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, especially when he comes back and he's revealed to be himself again. She's just like completely on him. She's like, "Oh, Duke, you're back."
Which is why it's so odd to me that she can't pick up that he's a synthoid.
Yeah, she kind of like, "Duke, you're
It's a
acting
very
weird."
slow penny drop, but it eventually gets there.
Just checking the temperature in the comments. MCDJ ACDC says Destro's taste for revenge has no limits. I really enjoy his hatred for Zartan throughout the Sunbow series, and this is also echoed by Pink Panther. And I dig this. What I love about this is like, I maybe I'm reading too much into it, but I think the writers did consider this. Destro plays such a big part of Cobra and plays such a huge role in Cobra's success that I think it's threatening to Cobra Commander himself. So Cobra Commander will find any way he can to kind of put Destro down. And so elevating Zartan in that respect, I mean, that's a total narcissist move. But like
the way this
great.
structure is put together, like Zartan and Cobra Commander collaborated on producing the Synthoid concept, but it's using Destro's, like the chemical compounds that Destro supplies.
Yeah.
So he feels cut out of the loop. But to add injury to the insult, they actually create a Synthoid of him and parade it around and have it bow down to Cobra Commander, which pisses him off something unholy. And to the point where he actually sides with GI Joe to take them down.
Sad Destro is sad.
Spoilers. That's part 2. That's part 2.
Well, we're jumping all over the map, but I mean, we're giving the broad strokes. Guys, if you haven't seen this, scroll down and hit the link. We've got fortunately, Hasbro has conjoined them into one 41-minute long episode.
So much company.
Perfect. Too easy. Check it out. Watch it. I mean, it's a classic for introducing the Synthoids as a concept to the cartoon, because most things in the cartoon don't have callbacks or call forwards, but this concept was reused in a later two-parter written by a completely different writer. Steven Gerber wrote There's No Place Like Springfield, where Shipwreck wakes up to a town full of and so it's fascinating to me that these two writers who were writing perhaps in isolation of one another were passing notes and were like, "Oh, you've got this concept too? Well, let me use your word." So amendments were made, and it's a kind of game-changing technology. There was a slight attempt to have something similar in the comic book series, but since it was a Herb Trimpe issue, not part of Larry's continuity, it was never really touched on again. But Herb Trimpe introduced the idea of lifelike battle android troopers that looked like their subjects, and could act, talk. I mean, this is perhaps a little bit too far out there for something more grounded like the comic book. But in the cartoon, this definitely flies. What do you guys think of just the concept?
Oh, I love it, man. I'm so glad. Like with this, it's a weird thing with this episode, and actually somebody I think it was Pink Panther in the chats kind of mentioned when we started mentioning Synthoids, they mentioned another episode, and I often do get these kind of confused. And I think that they're both great, but I often feel like Synthoid Conspiracy, like I have a different like memory of it every time. And so watching this episode again was great because it is such a cool episode for me. It definitely feels like the kid version of The Thing in a lot of ways. But like, it definitely feels like the kid version of the Puppet Masters, or the Invasion of the Body Snatchers. Inverted commas there for you.
There's
You
a
guys know
horror
why.
note that they play right at the end, which I think is what if I'm picking up what you're putting down, and it's absolutely horrifying when they do zap all the Synthoids it's telegraphed in the beginning that like Cobra Commander is about to destroy the Destro Synthoid because Destro's like, destroy that thing or I will destroy you or whatever. Cobra Commander was about to press the button and Zarta's like, no, don't press the button with that setting. It'll destroy all the Synthoids. It's like, use the local area network rather to just destroy the one in your vicinity. Anyways, that's how they're eventually ultimately all defeated at the same time. And when that happens, it cuts to the Synthoid Duke who comes apart, but then also the various other sort of top brass members who were replaced. And it's horrifying because they're all giving like addresses, they're giving speeches in front of the sort of various armed services, and they start just falling apart. The one guy's eyeball drops out of his face before he becomes a
Barry Cronenberg. Love that. Love that so much.
well, you
Love
said
it.
The
But yeah,
Thing.
it is very disturbing.
I'm gonna say Carpenter. Yeah, it's just
Mm.
horrifying
Well, the thing
to
is
see these guys
Carpenter.
like turn into goop before everyone's eyes. I mean, in that moment, if you're one of these assembled sailors watching Admiral Ledger, a man who you've had utmost respect for as a leader your entire career, men of men, legend, war hero, turn into goop. Imagine how destabilizing that is, how horrifying that is. A ship-wide panic ensues. A fleet-wide panic ensues.
Yeah, what do you do until you get the news that the guy's actually alive? This wasn't your commander. I mean, yeah, that has to be like traumatizing for sure.
I also love the paranoia. Like once they realize that one of them is a Synthoid, how that changes things up, and it makes them, it freaks them out. It's weird. It's that's why I say it's like The Thing, because that slowly creeps up. In The Thing, that's part of the paranoia. That's part of the horror of it. It's like who is, who's human and who's not, and this kind of played on that. It was like the kid-friendly version of that, which I dig because
Kid friendly.
like guys, like not to be funny here, but I love it when cartoons. I know that GI Joe and so many cartoons of its ilk, should I say, were often criticized as just being like adverts for kids' toys. And yes, they were. They were like comparative marketing tool, or they were assistive marketing tools and whatever's great. But the writers definitely did try to give kids of this time some semblance of taste, because they do reference and they do kidify a lot of great movie concepts and a lot of great literature concepts, and then distill them into kid form, the kidified. And I'm so glad that they did that, because there are so many things I knew about in the world at a young age that I could look up, and go and check out. Like The Thing, I watched The Thing a lot sooner in my life than I should have, and it's not because of this cartoon, but it's just when I watched The Thing, I was like, wow, there were other cartoons that did it, and I was like, oh, okay, I get this, So it allowed me to enjoy that film at a young age and allowed me to appreciate it, not like today where everything has to be a roller coaster. And so thank you, 80s cartoons, for doing cool stuff like this, and not just GI Joe, but a lot of you. Anyway, did you guys even enjoy this episode? Like, I mean, was this something that you thought was cool?
I thought it was a
I
cool
don't want to go
concept
into ratings
overall.
yet. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
no, we don't want to do ratings. I thought it was a cool concept overall. I think as one of the plans that Cobra comes up with, was probably one of the absolutely one of the most successful. But he definitely overstepped his bounds when he decided to replace a Joe. It probably wasn't necessary at all, actually, to replace a Joe to be able to complete his plan.
Yeah, and Duke specifically is just too high a flyer. I suppose you have to
Yeah.
make these things as bold as possible because this is, after all, a cartoon for kids. They had to make Synthoid Duke this bumbling cover girl. I'm not cover girl. I'm Scarlet. I'm the woman you sleep with, dude.
Yeah.
So he couldn't have been too crap because there's a moment. Just if you watch the moment when Synthoid Duke, like this is after it's been established, like Scarlet knows that it's Synthoid Duke. He kind of saves himself from a stricken Sky Striker.
I
which
love
Scarlet
that.
is piloting. And that's the moment she knows.
Save
it's not-
yourself. Okay.
But there's a weird bit of voice direction when he turns into Gloop. Scarlet definitely gives out like an impassioned, "Oh no!" Like it's a very earnest "Oh no." It's like she didn't mean for the Synthoid Duke to meet such a
You think
grisly
she wanted
end.
2 dukes?
Yeah, dude, double team that. Damn.
I'm sorry I went there.
You
I'm sorry I
did.
went there. And I mean, oh my
Yeah.
word. I think I've freaked out a bunch of people now. I've just seen the views drop.
I did. I did. Yeah. Overall, it's a really cool concept. And I like that the position they put Destro in, it does force him to kind of have to be on the side of GI Joe, and it's cool to kind of see him helping them. But he doesn't want to help them, but he feels he has to be able to get back at Cobra and make Cobra Commander realize you really do need me more than maybe you think you do. Which kind of flies in the face. I mean, I think it was earlier, Christoph Fromy on Facebook said, all good despots make sure their underlings are fighting one another. So they are busy fighting each other instead of looking for ways to bring you down. Unfortunately, that kind of backfired in this situation, at least, because Destro, he fought back. He fought back very hard against Cobra Commander. And
any opportunity you could put Destro in the cockpit of a Sky Striker is a good one.
Oh, absolutely gorgeous. Absolutely amazing. And it's cool to see all of the gadgets that he's come up with that you don't see him use. But that's always the thing. It's a cartoon. You will never necessarily see the Synthoids again. You'll never see these cool contraptions he's come up with. But it's cool to see his ingenuity because he really is an exceptionally intelligent weapons and technology designer. Shields. He's got like bots that kind of like help him refuel the jets as well.
Yes, aboard his ship, the Valkyrie. Oh,
Yeah,
that would be a
he's got
cool name.
tons of cool stuff. He's got absolutely tons of like absolutely amazing things that he uses.
Beady.
Handsome. Oh god. Handsome head injury. Do you think the Synthoid's brainwaves are copied from Zartan? I
Well, that would
like
explain
that
the bad acting.
Yeah, I like that explanation.
Possibly, yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, that is actually a good suggestion. So it's not just his technology and his chemicals, but it's his ability to kind of become someone else. Yeah, however flawed it is in the cartoons, it probably is necessary to a certain degree to be able to make it easier for them to mimic someone else, even though most of the time he's pretty bad at it. How did they land on this thing, by the way? Stephen
Sky
showing
Strikers
the
can
screenshot
land on a
of Valkyrie.
dime. So yeah, Destro's ship looks like an oil tanker. Yeah, exactly. Sky Strikers can do anything. I'd like to call out the kind of animal endangerment that happens later on.
Oh, thank you, Joe Hunter. I said this too on our podcast.
Did you?
Carry on.
They crash a water moccasin and like must not strapped in or anything.
He's like,
none of them are. None of them
Junkyard's
are.
not
That's
strapped
human
in.
endangerment. That's human endangerment too.
Wait a
And
minute,
then
you
they
guys
knock-
aren't on our side.
It took you long enough to figure that one
Yeah.
out.
Exactly, dude. They like totally take out the greatest theft of oxygen on planet Earth, who just happens to work for Cobra as well.
Who's this?
You guys aren't on the same side.
He was really smart.
Damn.
Smart guy.
Smart guy.
Also an interesting coloring error throughout this episode, I noticed. And maybe it's not an error, but Mutt's neck throughout the entire episode is grey. I don't know. Is he
Oh.
wearing like a very high turtleneck the entire episode? But the whole episode through, his entire neck area is gray, is colored gray. So it's not just where the shirt ends; it's like all the way up to his chin is gray
Gosh,
throughout the
I'm trying
entire
to still
episode.
now.
You were very close to finding one there.
Somebody didn't respect the model sheet and
Well, they
miscolored
respected
all
it
ba-
enough to keep it consistent throughout the entire episode.
Well,
It's
that's
not
what
like
you
a
have to
mistake
do.
that happened once. It's a mistake that that persists throughout the entire episode. It's very weird.
Oh, guys, just while we're here, I mean, Twende, the show I worked on, it debuted this month. It's on Showmax. It's really cool. I'm really, really loving it. But I'm once again painfully reminded that shots that I had literally labored for 15 to 18 hours on literally are blink and you miss it. I'm not exaggerating
That's
here. There's
showbiz,
literally-
baby.
That is
That's-
showbiz, yeah.
And is that what you mean there? That kind of like
That's what I mean.
whitish-
It's not a
yeah.
it's not a good example of it because that kind of does just look like he's wearing a high turtleneck or something. But like throughout the entire episode, his neck is grey like that.
So on the action figure, it's a painted flesh tone, is it not?
It
And
should be.
maybe that
It
paint
probably has,
sometimes
like, a bit
comes
of
off
white
very,
on it, yeah.
that paint tone sometimes comes off very faded. Like I know I've got a Lady J who it should be flesh colored, but it looks like she's wearing an undershirt. Similarly with some shipwrecks, he's got a low buttoned collar, so there's some flesh there, but that's also sometimes faded. Yeah, whenever you got like flesh colored plastic trying to mix with a flesh tone paint match, if it's a little bit off, maybe the animators were like,
Yeah.
oh no, that is an undershirt.
Yeah, but the thing is, they have animated him before. I mean, we've already watched the whole pet episode, and his neck wasn't grey in that one. So I mean, they already have an established character sheet for him, where his neck is not grey. It is flesh colored, unless these episodes were, I don't know, animated all at around about the same time.
Tip of the iceberg, Robbie. Welcome to
I don't
the
know, but anyway.
inconsistencies of like particularly this animated run. You're going to see a lot more of that.
There
I
was
think.
something that I did notice throughout the episode. Not to derail us, but yeah.
But yeah, anyway, the reason I brought up the Twende thing is because an inconsistency, like if you pick it up early and it's difficult to go back and fix, then you have to make everything the mistake.
Yeah,
You know,
basically. it's just
Otherwise,
because-
it stands out. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
geez. So those were corrections you had to make. You had to uncorrect things in order to be consistent with something that's already gone before. Yeah,
Can happen.
frustrating.
that
Very
is
frustrating.
it's probably cheaper than actually going back and fixing it because you're like, this is already in the can. So
Guys, is this the
A lot
all-time
of Sky
record
Strikers.
holder of like number of Sky Strikers destroyed?
Well, it depends. How many can an ace fly at once?
Well, Duke loses the first one in this episode. That's in the war games. But like Scarlet loses one. At one point, they're assaulting the Cobra final base, this kind of cool
yes,
atoll,
got the cool,
and they've got like
laser.
a ring of
You're an
turrets at the
atoll.
top. Now, there's still fighters,
Sorry.
there's still Sky Strikers flying around upstairs, and Ace is fortunately piloting one of those. And I noticed his backseat man was airborne, but for some reason, Airborne wasn't voiced by Peter Cullen in this episode. I guess they couldn't get the man. He's too busy doing Optimus Prime. And so there were still fighters sort of buzzing around trying to occupy these turrets. But there was a land war being fought beneath them. Like Flint and a few other guys were shooting. Like Scarlet was down there as well. And it occurred to me, like, in order for those guys to be fighting on the ground, their Sky Strikers must have been blown up and they parachuted down. So, like,
Yeah.
we're seeing Sky Strikers being lost off camera aplenty. Plus this entire, like, parked Air Force in front of the Joe base that gets pasted by Rattlers.
Completely wasted, yeah.
So, I mean, the generals were onto something, that the Joes were a wasteful bunch. I mean, just think of
Yeah.
how many jets
Absolutely.
they are losing, keeping them like
I mean,
parked on parade.
We don't get an idea of the passage of time in this episode. It's kind of like the Synthoids
too
get
abrupt.
established as being put into the military, and then we have that one meeting where like, oh, we have to cut their funding. But like the instant their funding is cut, GI Joe has no fuel. They have no ammo. It's like, did you not stockpile stuff? Is that a part of like to a
No
certain degree.
propane for my flamethrower. Like,
I don't even. Like, yeah, we have enough fuel for like one jet. It's like, do you not ensure that your supplies are at a certain minimum, that you are always ready to take on certain missions? You know, so you don't
Yeah,
have to
of
be
course,
like, oh
man.
god, okay, we only have enough, propane for like one burst of his flamethrower.
Cool to
But
see him.
maybe
Though.
we should, keep more. It's like it's very quick. Like suddenly, like we've cut the budget in half. Oh no, now we have nothing.
and
It is
Cobra's
cool to
dying.
see. It is cool to see Blowtorch in the animated series though, and he's not being used as his pretty specialty. So guys, Steve, you brought up something that I love. GI Joe must be a wasteful bunch. There is a portion of this episode where they kind of mentioned, well, if you weren't here, this place wouldn't have been attacked. Actually, kind of a good argument, but it's a circular argument. Once again, it's one of those gaslighty, narcissistic sort of arguments.
Oh, it's
tactics.
disgusting. It's disgusting, dude. Like, I mean, to paraphrase our pals at Knowing Is Half the Podcast, they're like, if you didn't build the Twin Towers, they wouldn't have been destroyed. Like, what?
What? Yeah, that's that. I'm sorry, but that's a
But it's like if GI Joe hadn't existed, Cobra would have taken over a long time ago.
Exactly.
Yeah, it is circular. Hello, Alan Grant. Welcome. I hope you've been enjoying the snow down the South Island or New Zealand.
Also,
cool.
Alan Grant, I hope you are as excited as I am at the Game Award Jurassic Park Survivor trailer. I am beyond amped. So just want to share that with a fellow, Dino Head
Jurassic Parker
fan.
Is that what you guys call yourself? Diamond Heads?
No, I'm just making stuff up, man. Like, I don't know. Like, I only know one other person in South Africa gets as excited as I do about Jurassic Park, and he spends way more money on that hobby. He's got like variations of the T-Rexes and stuff.
You guys, I mean, you can't really call yourself Parkies because there's also like Jurassic World now. So, I mean,
yeah, but I don't know. I suppose one could, because there are some people who disavow the existence of Jurassic World.
Oh wow, you've just blown Alan's world into smithereens. He did not know about that, Paul.
Good. I'm glad you heard it here, Alan. Cool. Guys, how rad is Zartan in this episode? Actually, I mean, to be fair, the episode starts with him deciding that all of the top brass need to all just go on an extended furlough. And I love that.
I quite like his gas gun. That's a cool signature design.
It's
and talking about coloring errors, Rob, at one point Zartan looks to be wearing like a full bodysuit in blue.
Yes.
Yeah. I did notice that.
Interesting. Yeah, Zartan's all right. Like, I don't know. This wasn't a sort of Zartan feature necessarily. But it's an interesting string to his bow that he's not just this chameleon character, this master of disguises, that he's also seems to be some kind of a inventor too. I mean, if he developed the Synthoid technology, then he's got some tech savvy that we don't often see him exhibiting. I guess all the baddies are evil scientists at their heart.
Kevin Rotella would like to bring our attention to, have you guys checked out the Arcade 1-Up G.I. Joe theme mod I did a video on YouTube? No, we haven't. Please DM us a link or something on one of our socials.
We did it.
I'd love to check that out.
We'd happily
there we go.
An
Thank
episode
you.
of the podcast to it.
Yeah,
this sounds like our jam.
Check it out in the next episode. Hello, Jeff Morris. Welcome, and hello, Cobra Viper 11. You're able to join us.
Once upon a time.
Just we wrap this one up in a big bow. Oh, and just yes or no, is Wild Bill perhaps the most trigger happy GI Joe of all?
Thank you. I'm glad you said something, because he's like just chilling out there on the deck and he's got his gun out and he's all like, haha,
whether he's in the Dragonfly
My hat.
or whether he's like laying waste. Like at one point, I don't think I have a still of it, but at one point he just wrecks like a friendly computer bank. Like Joe's break in to steal this guy's back and refuel him. He bursts into the communication center and he's like, "Yeehaw, motherfucker!" He goes full on Rambo.
Communications are down today.
He goes full on Rambo First Blood Part 2 on that like computer console. It's like, Dude, friendly fire. Hey,
Computer says no.
It's
we got some
very, very
blue on
shitty.
blue here happening. Like, just don't forget who the good guys are. Actually, this is like
It's
an innocent
you.
army dude that he's like,
You.
it's like duck.
No
Bad
more
music.
duck.
But
Guys, there is a there was that moment, but as we close out and getting into the reviews now, I just want to say there's a small portion of this episode of this two-parter in particular that has inspired a play motion idea that I'd like
Incredible.
to speak
Wow.
to Steve about and speak to the boys about and see if he's keen to like want to shoot it or whatever. So yeah, that'll be cool. I like your turtle shirt. I also got a cool turtle shirt now.
all right,
Wow.
rate it.
I
On a
don't
scale
have
of 1 to 5, the Synthoid conspiracy parts 1 and 2. Chats, you can get involved as well.
Do it. Tell us what you.
I'm going last. I don't know what you're waiting for.
Oh,
You're going
right,
last. That's absolutely
I'm
incredible.
I'm gonna give it a
Ooh, Stephen's
3.5.
Road.
3.5.
I knew it.
Okay.
I knew it.
No,
Stephen
I'm gonna
hates
push it up.
it.
I'm gonna push it up. It's a 4. It's a 4.
3 and a 5. 3 and 7/5.
It's the first time we've had a number of these tropes, and they
For
get played
King
out
Rob.
a lot. But like this handles the budget cut thing very abruptly, but very well. It shows Joe's losing their funding. It shows dissension in the ranks. Quick Kick assaults an officer because the officer wants to shoot the dog. No, they first want to shoot the dog, have that dog destroyed for assaulting the Synthoid officer. And then Mutt obviously intervenes to protect Junkyard. And when they're about to shoot them for running away, Quick Kick kicks the gun out of the soldier's hands. So Quick Kick gets incarcerated. We see Scarlet working a mundane like desk job, basically T-bitch to one of these Synthoids.
And
Like-
being she's being demeaned. Yeah, like it's
So
demeaning to her.
it's a two-parter, so it has the time to really play these tropes out to their natural conclusion. So 4 out of 5 for me. Rob?
4 and 4.5. 4.5. Oh yeah, love the half. I think it's a fun concept overall. I overall I really enjoyed it. I mean, this like obviously it's a cartoon, so there's silly shit going on, but it's really cool to see like GI Joes on the ropes. It's like they've really been brought low, and where do they go from there? And it's cool to see like Destro teaming up with them and kind of like getting his back, getting back at Cobra, and it's kind of cool to see them working together to kind of like we're on the same side. Yes, I would echo that. I'd definitely give it a 4. I think it's a lot of fun, and it's the first two-parter we've had since the miniseries, isn't it? I think.
Yes, you're
Yeah.
correct, Rob.
So like as a two-parter, I think it's a fantastic two-parter. It really holds up. It's all together. It's like instead of like a multi-part story. As a multi-part story, I think overall it's a lot of fun. 4 out of 5. Paul hates it.
Give it. Wait, hold on. I need an avatar. Damn
Oh
it.
my
I
God.
don't know what he gave it.
No, I need to look at it. Thank you. Hold on. Ninja is a weapon. I give this 4 out of 5 ninjas for its compelling storyline and watering down of adult film of more sophisticated film concepts for children. But like seriously, dudes, I absolutely love this two-parter. I dig for exactly that. It brings down intellectual film concepts, makes them greatly accessible for children at the time. So that was a benefit to us because these characters weren't all like hugging and singing and being hey boo boo. So that was great, and I really enjoyed that angle to it. I love that in a weird way. We kind of get the jugglers in this.
Yes.
Yes, they're not the jugglers, but they're the jugglers. So
Interference
pretty
from
cool.
above.
Hmm.
yeah,
GI Joe
and-
becoming a kind of a resistance movement.
yeah, exactly. Putting GI Joe on the other side of things, making them renegades, if you will. But I enjoyed that. I think this was very cool. Destro, maybe this is giving the episode too much, but maybe it's also proving that Destro doesn't necessarily want the same things Cobra Commander once, because if he did, he could step aside from his pride with regards to the Synthoid and let their total control of the world happen. But yeah, Destro
No, he
obviously.
can't. Destro's being Destro.
But what you're gonna do exactly. So yeah, solid 4 out of 5. Absolutely love this thing, and I think everybody here should check it out. There's a reason I want Super 7 to do a set of Synthoids for us, or at least Synthoids.
I've asked this
half form.
before, Paul. Like, you want them what, half melted?
Yeah,
I
you could just
want-
3D print them
I
yourself.
want versions. I want
Just
versions of
make
them where
Play-Doh versions. Some
Yeah,
great
or-
Play-Doh.
your figures yourself.
Yeah, but I kind of like the idea of like having specific characters like in a half melted state, or like, you know, just like the arms or the face, like a face that you can switch out or something, just to kind of like, I don't know, just make it fun, or just like something like a Synthoid Destro where his face is a bit weird and stuff, and he's like sort of melting already. Guys, I
Factory
mean, if you
era.
see Duke, if you see Synthoid Duke, I mean, he's like the model sheet they've drawn his eyes a bit squonk. Shame, because but I think they did it on purpose.
Hans.
So, like,
Stop it.
yeah.
It. Hans didn't
I'm
like
terrifying
it.
Hans.
He gave it 2 out of 5. He said body snatcher stuff still terrifies him. So
Yeah,
you
dude.
know,
I mean, we have Cronenberg, we got
Unite.
Carpenter in this episode. What is not to love? This is great.
if you don't like
this
horror,
is
you don't
great.
love it. And that's totally fine.
Anyway,
And
Uh,
welcome in the final minutes, JLS Comics. And Emmanuel, you're not late. We're late. We're 24 hours late, so it's understandable that you've arrived late. But enjoy watching it. The I don't know, what is it called? A repeat? Are we on repeat? No, it's a video.
on Twitch we call it the VOD.
On the VOD. But yeah, we are a
but-
recorded video. I hope you enjoy that. And yeah,
Also, patrons and YouTube. I don't know what the YouTube subscribers are called,
members.
dude.
Members.
YouTube members were treated to early access
Or to
to
this
a
live
great chat
broadcast.
between. We're treated to a great chat between Word Burglar and Ozzy. So that was pretty cool. In fact, that is still going right now. I think that exclusivity ends in about 24 hours or so. Anyway, that window is closed in. So yeah, guys, score.
Close
That's
that
pretty
window.
cool. Just put
Close
that
it.
out there. So to you guys who are supporting us in the as patrons or supporting the Bergforce as a patron or the GI or the YouTube channel members, thank you very much. And
Enjoy
also shout out for the I hope you enjoy your new hoodie. You know who I'm talking to in the chats. Thank you very much
Peter
for your
Moline.
support.
Moline.
So yeah, Peter Moline. So
I think
let us
it
know
is.
what it's like. Hit us up with some pictures. It's always cool to see that swag on people's backs. Right.
Guys,
And it's, yeah.
let's do a little round of new shit, guys.
Whoa. Oh my!
You got an
goodness.
air commando.
Nice, dude.
We premiered a play motion called Air Commando featuring Sky, mate. Did you guys catch it?
I did. I
Yes.
absolutely loved it. I love those shots of Table Mountain. It's just so cool to see it. And of course, there's those amazing. You did cool shots on those days that I wasn't with you last year, and it's so cool to finally
Hi,
see it
Robbie.
like, on a big screen. But to see
That's
it
my
as part of
first
a
time to my first time at Kirstenbosch Gardens.
Oh hell yeah, dude!
Mm.
I'm glad you enjoyed
So
it.
that was pretty cool.
Look
that
good.
was a lot
Overall,
of fun.
it's tight. It's tight. It's really tight, and it leaves things open for more, which I think is quite cool. Air Commandos
Hmm.
2, or
Also
maybe
got-
the sequel is called Ground Commandos.
I think the
Ooh.
door has been slammed on the main thrust of that mission, which was to secure the plans for the Cobra mothership, because that's
Ooh. Well,
Destroy-
you know,
Nah,
you
we'll
never
make it
know.
work. We'll use movie magic.
totally make it.
We'll do it in post. Speaking of post, I'm quite pleased to say that I did some post production on that episode.
Mm.
Yeah, I produced a
Interesting.
small animated sequence for that episode. And when I say small animated sequence, it really was quite a small animated sequence.
Tiny.
But yeah, it's an important part of the story, I suppose. It was fun to make. I couldn't resist.
Don't
Even
beat
though-
around the bush. It was basically the scans of the mothership sort of zoom, flashing between the closed roof and then the open section. Zoom, zoom, zoom.
Yeah, it's awesome. And you nailed it. You put it in such a cool place. Look at us like giving each other head rubs.
In
It
terms
was
of
an
new
awesome
shit,
show.
though,
Of course I covered it. Yeah.
I got a Bumble Striker.
Yay!
Wow.
And
Very
Oh, yeah.
cool.
I saw the The
You get it
Transformer
for
only
$40.
40 Australian dollars. Thank you very much. I'll
Yes.
happily pay that all day. I don't want the knockoff
Not
Stalker, thanks.
$42.
And
Not $48. $40.
this is controversial, maybe, but I think this is my favorite Ore Striker of all. Like,
Wow.
Dun,
Just-
dun, dun.
despite the fact that it hides an Autobots, just taking the
Badly.
structure of the Ore Striker and making it sturdy enough to support a transformation means that it is a very hardy toy. It doesn't have suspension, it doesn't have turnable wheels. But if you ask me, in my heart of hearts, I think those are liabilities. I think this vehicle is far better because of it. It is more rugged, more free rolling. It doesn't suddenly sort of lock into an awkward left or right turn. The antenna are on a swivel, sort of a pivot. So
And they're solid?
multi-position, well, they do some flex, but because they can be put down, means that you won't get into an awkward situation where you're bending them to get them in
Cool.
somewhere or on a shelf
That
or
is
something.
cool. Does it
It's
come with a
very
tent
cool.
you're going to set up next to it?
Hey?
Does
Why?
it come with a nice tent that you could set up next to it and turn into like a little fob? Into like a
Not
little
the
bed?
FOE
Does it give you a
striker you're
tent
comparing
even
to.
to
Like a
stand
foe
up your
striker.
legs?
I like the color of the classic green, and this is, as I say, a hardy version of it. I wish I could get rid of the yellow
Yo.
around the back, but like
I so
this,
baited him.
fuck you. I then proceeded to take out this Ore Striker, the Mega Hiss, and the HasLab Sky Striker, and I put them next to each other as like my modern collection of GI Joe vehicles, and I'm like, this is cool. These vehicles are all they look like the old thing, except they don't have that model kit quality, which now is a very fragile, don't touch me, don't play with me quality. These feel like hardy, currently produced toys that meet the kind of factory standards that current toys have to meet, and that's, they have to have a certain wall thickness, they have to have a certain build quality, and you feel it, and it forms a very consistent collection altogether. So I'm kind of looking forward to getting that new Thunder Machine. It'll never replace the old one, but just as a toy, as a more rugged toy, there's some magic there.
Well, with that, you'll never need to replace the old Thunder Machine because you won't break the old Thunder Machine.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna break Shockwave instead. Right.
Well, yeah,
Yeah,
it's a hardier toy. That Shockwave's got me all kinds of excited as well. Oh, Shockwave, Soundwave. Shockwave.
So, apologies. Yeah, I made
Yeah.
that track.
Sorry, man.
myself.
I fell
Sound
into
shock.
your groove there.
Shock
Guys,
sound.
Saturday, Steve, that's all your cool new stuff, right?
Is that all of it? Because Paul wants to talk now, please.
Talk away, brother. The only other new shit that I have to announce is the next podcast we record, I will be home.
Okay.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah.
It'll be cool.
That is
And then you
Well,
should have more new
Friday.
shit to talk about as well.
Oh,
Ooh. Ooh.
Christmas is around the corner, boys. Get your wish
Yeah.
list out.
So,
Yes, Paul.
after Rage on Saturday, we all shot off to. By the way, Rage was disappointing for me from a toy side. Absolutely nobody had toys to buy. How lame.
Well, it's
was
more of
actually
an
a K-pop-
entertainment thing, isn't it? I mean,
Yeah,
it's a
but there
gaming
have
thing.
been guys there with toys and stuff in the past, and it's always been cool. And it sucks when there isn't anybody there, but not for my credit card because my credit card was fine. Literally, the only people selling toys was us at the
Celia's
Nexus hub, and
probably
obviously
very
it was-
happy after this weekend.
She was quite happy.
It was like,
no,
you
no,
didn't come home with another Power Ranger. Oh, thank goodness.
or yeah, exactly, or like
Or
another
metal
Gundam.
Gundam.
Build Gundam or something ridiculous. Not that I would have been able to anyway, but
No,
anyway, it
obviously
doesn't matter. That's
not.
beside the point. There was nothing to buy, nothing to tempt me. Anyway, so we go to Spur, as is the tradition that we have now started with our dudes.
I
After
attended that tradition.
Rage, yes, I would have loved it if you could have made it with this one as well. So we went to Spur at Mall of Africa, and what do I do every time I go into a mall? I have to inspect
Can't help
every toy
yourself.
shop. Gotta say,
Go
the
to the
Toy
toilet.
Kingdom there is, but the Toys R Us there is surprisingly impressive. And I'm looking through the Hot Wheels. I'm like, okay, they got the usual Hot Wheels, and I go and look at the action figures. I'm like, oh my shit, they've actually got Marvel Legends. They've got the Jada Toys monsters, like the Bela Lugosi, the Wolfman, Frankenstein's monster. very
Wow.
cool. I was a little tempted
How-
by that. You're very nice.
How's
Some
Prima
Black
Toys
Series-
doing? Bringing in good stuff from Hasbro.
Some Black Series Star Wars stuff in that just looked interesting as well. Like I was quite and Lightning Collection Power Rangers. I was like, wow, this is amazing. And then I turned to my left, and the GI Joe logo caught my eye, and I absolutely, for a second there, just had the pins and needles till I realized that it was just the Nano collections. But even that was awesome to find at a Toys R Us.
GI Joe on
So-
a shelf. I get
So
it, man.
I got those little Nunu Nano GI Joe vehicles, the Snowcat, the
bought
Hiss,
them?
yeah,
Nice.
and the Vamp. Well, it's a Stinger. I mean, it's a
Oh,
Vamp
hell
Mark II. But anyway, it's cool. I finally got them, and it's so meta because I can put them in my GI Joe toys hands, and they can also make GI Joburg videos. Anyway, that was really exciting for me, and it was super super inexpensive. And at least this weekend I came home with a toy. So yay!
Good one,
That was
man.
awesome.
Good one, my man. Good one. So, guys,
Oh,
when is our
Steve-
next episode for people's future reference? I'm going to assume it's 2 weeks from now.
So
This-
actually,
Am I correct?
Actually,
or
that
are we
brings up a
coming
good
back?
point. I think we might do the last episode for the year a little bit sooner than that, and I think we need to
Ooh.
discuss that. Sorry, guys, you're getting into a little bit of a
I'm just trying to
Nintendo
throw it out there. I'm trying to figure out.
because we want to wish everybody a nice festive season and happy holidays and happy Merry Christmas and all that good stuff. And also, we just need a little bit of downtime because we got some great news for you guys. Steve I think he sort of mentioned a little bit before, but we are looking at going back to a weekly format.
Wow,
So yeah.
that's cool
So
news.
yeah, provided it might be as time permits. but
Surprise,
that's the
Rob.
idea.
you weren't here. But yeah, that's kind of where we were heading. We all wanted to do and this is following the format of a number of other YouTubers, so it's nothing new. But we were
Going
thinking of keeping, fortnightly for lives, and then every once in every week, the three of us are just going to chat. Just most us three, so that we can perhaps focus on stuff more internally, I guess. I don't know, things that perhaps require a little bit more involved discussion amongst ourselves.
I get very external with the
And
with
stuff
the
that we can also like release early access to and whatever. And also just it gives actually let's not mess around too much.
Nice.
This is mostly so that like we can chat to each other more often because we're friends. We
Oh,
miss
how
chatting to
dare
each
you.
other. We miss
How
hanging out. So it's cool for us to do
How
that.
very
So
dare you.
yeah. And
So
yeah.
yes, this will not be the last time you'll see us before next year, guys. I just wanted to confirm that on air. We are definitely coming at you again. So enjoy the holiday seasons.
Wow.
Because we will be enjoying it with you live again for sure. 2024 is around the corner, but GI Joburg is still coming at
And you
you.
can't.
Yeah. And you can't.
Thank you to
And it got-
NCDJ ACDC for making me aware of the fact that the total on the Cobra Mothership has gone up. Like,
Yeah.
they should have closed the campaign, but it's now at 1,572.
There's no hours now on it. So it's still live. I mean, there's no hours on it. Like I just checked now after Andrew pointed that out. There's no live on it, but yeah, it seems the numbers have actually gone up. Unless it went up in the last, I don't know. We'll see what happens. Maybe they're just like, frick it. We'll keep giving us money until it reaches the goal.
And you know, Rob was very like coy about this earlier when Steve asked about conventions, but Rob just did a Japan day.
Indeed, I did. It was a lot of fun.
Did it go well?
Arigato for
Arigato.
mentioning it, Paul. It was actually a lot of fun. And I mean, I say fun. You know, obviously, I'm working.
I
at
think
it
they're
and
fun. We did
burn
one
the
2 weeks
fun.
ago at Market Kokoro, so that was
It was
cool.
very cool. The opening ceremony. This young woman played like this really cool, like long instrument thing. She was
Show me
like
sing.
picking at it, like it sounded cooler than that. But it was really impressive. Overall, it was a really cool day. Yeah, lots of fun, and I look forward to attending it again. It was the first time I got to go. Usually it's guys from the other branch that attended, but now it's down the road from where I stay, so I just roll out of bed into Japanese culture. So that was a lot of fun.
Awesome, man. And I love the Japanese consulate. I've made some friends, well, you know, acquaintances now with them because we also did a Japanese day with Market Kokoro like 2 weeks ago, which is
I
a
heard
big Asian like kind of store. I think you might have seen the social media stuff as well. So much
Yeah.
fun. It's actually really
Yeah.
cool. I've got lots
Japanese
of
are
cool Japanese snacks.
Tons of fun. They're the
They are
coolest.
tons of
I
fun.
love Japanese
They are.
people. I love all the
I like
people. I love
people.
people who love
I like
GI Joe
people
and Cobra.
Gundam. Yeah,
Like
and
all the people watching us right
Anyway.
now. all the people
And I
checking out
love
this video.
the
And the-
patrons, Yo
Oh.
Joburg, guys.
Thank you,
yes,
everyone.
sending us
thank you guys.
Always supporting us and keeping the lights going and keeping us alive, I guess,
And we'll add our newest one there soon. We'll update the list because we've got a few new guys that joined us, and I will name you on our next one. So please don't be sad.
awesome.
I'll name you on our next podcast.
Paul will definitely name you, and he'll say your names correctly too. You'll pronounce them very well. And that's it. We are Synthoids, Rob, Paul, and Steve, and we're coming at you again, 306 very soon. This was 305, by the way.
306, keeping it festive, I suspect.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Feel good.